change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more?
Well, a very good evening, everybody. Welcome along. It is a pleasure to have your company. It is round 2 of the AGT ACC GT3 Championship. We are back after a fair bit of a break, and it is round 2 tonight in the lovely Japan at a very challenging circuit called Suzuka, 18 corners. And we are going to take you through all the action from the 2 30-minute sprint races we have coming your way this evening. My name, of course, is Isaac Fogarty. I'm going to take you through all the action this evening. And alongside me to discuss it all and keep us very well informed is the magnificent John Wright. John, welcome in. It's a pleasure to have you back and really looking forward to this one tonight.
What an intro that was. I actually looked over my shoulder in the commentary box to see who he was talking about when he said magnificent. Good evening, folks. Welcome in. It is very good to be here. Can confirm the reason we had such a long break, it was so that I could learn to say AGT ACC Season 3 in one go.
He's got it.
There we go. It's a tongue twister. He's done it.
Hey.
I should have with all the practice that I've had. It's been 3 weeks. It's first thing in the morning. And we've managed to... Oh, I've been disconnected from the server.
Yes.
We'll sort that out in a minute. But yes, we're here for Japan this morning. Yeah, cannot wait to get started. I absolutely love this league. Phenomenal drivers. Seen some great action. Some of the best interviews I've ever had as well. Let's face it. Yeah, so very much looking forward to this one, Isaac, as we have some technical issues to start things off, of course.
Yes, naturally. This would not be an AGT event if there was not some technical issues with G-Portal. I believe all the drivers have actually been kicked as well, which is interesting. So, you know, G-Portal working its magic. So we're going to make sure that that is resolved very quickly and get onto that. But yes, looking forward to this evening. If we have a look at what we have ahead of us, John, I'll leave it to you to run everybody through the action that we have this evening, because Japan, Suzuka, we've been here before and it's quite an exciting circuit.
To say quite an exciting circuit is one of the biggest understatements I've ever heard from you, Isaac, and you are an understated character at the best of times, my friend. Suzuka, it is the absolute jewel in the Asian racing crown. It's been on the go since 1962. Of course, one of the things it's most famous for is the first time in recorded history that 3 drivers in qualifying hit exactly the same time. And yet still the FIA won't go to a 4th integer. We still only go to thousands, but there we go. So yeah, first time I had 1986, I believe that was. But of course, the GT3 racing here has been on the go since the early 80s, and it has continued onward around this magnificent 3.6 mile track. Qualifying length tonight is going to be 10 minutes. As you can see, their tyre wear rating high. It really, really is. And if you want to talk about a turn 1, forget Monza. It pales into insignificance compared to the double apex bad boy that is turn 1 here at Suzuka. It is There will be carnage. We've got 30 cars out on track. We are going to have a bit of bumping and banging and shuffling and shaking on the way through turn 1 on lap 1. So hopefully it is a bright sunny day in Japan and we've got a bit of track temperature for the drivers to warm those tyres. And of course, fastest driver around here, look at 1 minute 59.697.
And I can tell you, they didn't get that close in practice, but they have been getting close to that during the week. So I'm keen to see if that's going to be broken tonight in qualifying. We've got the server going once again and hopefully going to stay set up. Obviously, as a couple of people have said, it is in fact G-Portal doing G-Portal things. So thanks G-Portal for making our dreams come true, as you always do. But we're going to have a look now at our drivers' standings. And it is, obviously we've only had the one round, but Josh Truick does lead the way in the points from Matt Donetti, Paul Cadena-Leon, and Max Silva in the pro class. Closely followed by Aiden Holt and Simon Bishop, and then some 73 points back to Braden Henderson in 7th place. However, our Pro-Am standings are a lot closer, only 36 points separating the top 7, and that's James Barton and Mark Hurley, the two Highland Motorsport drivers, albeit for Highland Motorsport 1 and Highland Motorsport 2. Then it's Nathan Hutton, Mick Toward in P4, then Peter Sargent, Anthony Burrows, so a bit of TTR actually going on in the middle there, and then Felix Preslin for GF Racing. And John, you'll be happy to know that there's a Ferrari in P2 in the Pro-Am. So that Ferrari is representing by having a championship charge for the Pro-Ams.
Huzzah! Love to see the Ferraris do as well, as long as they beat the McLarens. That's absolutely fine. No rivalry between George Cook and myself at all. Definitely, absolutely not. But go Ferrari over Macca every time, all day.
Absolutely. Well, I'm on the Mustang train, but I think tonight I might have to get myself on the Audi train, given the pace that Matt Donetti and Simon Bishop are having in those Audis at the moment. So looking forward to seeing what they can do. Let's have a look at our team standings and how that looks. Very close between our top two teams. Only 22 points separate CP Motorsports 1 and BCG 1 on the after round 1. So pretty close between those guys. Then it's Highland Motorsport 1 with Nathan Lee and James Barton in 3rd, some 103 points behind. So a fairly big gap between 2nd and 3rd. Defy Motorsports in 4th with TTR Eastside rounding out your top 5. Then it's BCG 3, TTR Westside, CP Motorsports 2, Team XV Primer, and Defy Motorsports 2 rounding out your top 10. Now, it's pretty close between those that back half of the top 10, John, but that's a massive gap already from 2nd to 3rd, with 103 points being, or 3rd place being 103 points behind our championship leader.
Yeah, some big gaps, as you say, between 2nd and 3rd. The top 2 very close, and then further down the field, very close again. Japan could absolutely turn this all on its head. All it takes is one wrong turn here, and we're going to see Matthew Simmons up at the top of the tower because Matt Simmons, because he is very quick. So yeah, he could definitely be Max Silver as well, sitting there in 4th in Defy Sports. They could certainly defy the odds and find themselves bringing home a race win or two, and yeah, really making a charge up. But it is only one race in, Isaac, and those are team standings. So as you know, the team has to be working. Well, let's face it doesn't have to be working. They'll have to get both drivers across the line. That's mission 1. Get both drivers to the end of the race, get points, and then see where the chips fall. They've fallen slightly more towards a couple of the teams at the moment, but I think after a few more rounds, we could see that balance back out again.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the thing. We've got 9 rounds in this championship, so we've got plenty of time left in this season. We run all the way to the end of May, so a long time left to go in this championship, only 1 round done. Matt Simmons, as you mentioned, he's back tonight, I believe. I'm looking for him. There he is on my timing screen that I can see before me at the moment. He is back after missing round 1, so he'll be looking to throw a spanner in the works at the top of the field. Now, obviously, round 1, we had a few technical issues with the broadcast, so you might not have seen this. This is what's new for Season 3 this in AGT. We have 2-class system we're moving to. We tried it for the Porsche Cup Series, and it's stuck around for the GT3. So it's the Pro and the Pro-Ams only. We've done away with the Am class and moved everybody into two classes only. A 9-round calendar with 4 new circuits. Obviously, Kyalami was round 1, and we go to Donington, Hungaroring, and Paul Ricard later in the season. 3 circuits I'm very much looking forward to. Hungaroring has featured as a pre-season track before, but never in an actual championship. So that'll be very exciting. 5 formats this season as well. 4 super sprints, one of which we're going to see tonight. 4 1-hour races, which we had at our opening round. A sprint feature making its return. We'll have 1 2-hour enduro in the middle of the season. And then the 90-minute finale has returned by popular demand from both our viewers and our drivers. So looking forward to that coming back, because that 90-minute race at Imola in Season 1 was still one of the races that stick out as one of the best in my mind, with Matt Donetti and Simon Bishop being nose to tail for pretty much the entire 90 minutes. More prizes as well this season. We've got Enduro prizes, a King of the Ring prize, Pole Award, Fastest Lap Award, and so much more. So make sure you get into our Discord as well and have a look at that. But yeah, really looking forward to what this season is going to bring. There's some exciting changes happening, John, and it's all for the better.
It is a phenomenal format, a nice mix up of races, and just an absolute calendar of the gods. I mean, certainly from a spectator's point of view, I'm not sure how keen I am on driving Donington, Oulton, or any of those British tracks, which does seem weird considering which side of the pond I am on. But Kyalami, Hungaroring, I mean, Paul Ricard is a bit of a polarising track, I find, but you cannot argue with the racing that you get at that track. So yeah, between the tracks and the format, as you say, the super sprints and the 90-minute finale, which I do remember well as well, Isaac, that was, yeah, a standout race and a standout interview at the end as well. So the format, all good with me, and yeah, 90-minute finale, absolutely bring it on.
Yep, looking forward to that coming back, but we should turn our attention where we are today. We've run through the track and what to expect, and we are now about halfway through qualifying. So let's jump down to the circuit, see how things are going on track. Here we are, Matt Donetti, our reigning champion, leading the way in this qualifying session. It's a BCG 1-2 at the moment. Josh Druick just in behind, only about just under 2/10 back. And then it's Pork and Dan Leon. So BCG have 3 cars inside the top 4 at the moment. And it's BCG and CP1 all inside the top 5, dominating that top 5 at the moment. Max Silver, he's just jumped up as well. Where did he jump up to? I lost him on my screen. I've lost the 75 car. Where is he? We lost him. He is down the field. So he's sitting in 28th. Yet to set a time in this session, though. Matt Simmons also yet to set a time in this session. We'll see what he can do when he runs towards the line. We're hearing as well the 107% rule tonight, John. You've got to do a 208 to be inside the 107% rule. So Bob Norley has a little bit of time to find. This is his return to the series. He had serious ankle surgery a couple months ago, and I'm under good authority that he's actually right foot braking this evening, which is not easy to do in a GT3 car.
That is incredible, and the 108 rule should be, or 107 rule should be demolished for Norley. He should get a free pass. If he has come back with ankle surgery and he's only using 1 foot to accelerate and brake, and he's in an AMG.
He's in a Mercedes.
This man's talents knows no bounds. Yes, he is in the mighty Mercedes. That is quite the task. Single foot braking in a GT3 car, in a Mercedes around Suzuka. He will be rocking at the end, saying there is no spoon. There is no spoon.
Absolutely. I can just turn your attention, ladies and gentlemen, to the timing screens. You can see that Josh Struick has done a 2:00.005. So he is a whisker away from jumping into the 159s. He is flying out there at the moment. Matt Donetti still on the second row. Matt Simmons set his time, jumped up into 4th. And Max Silver jumped up into 5th place. So it's all happening at the pointy end of this field. We look inside the top 8. We've got 8 pro drivers in there. Mark Hurley, the Ferrari, you'll be happy about this, leading the way in the Pro-Am class at the moment.
Indeed, yeah, Ferrari doing Ferrari things. It is the best car in the world, without this question. So yeah, it's not a surprise to me at all to see it dominating in the Pro-Ams ahead of... what is that, a Ford Mustang? That seems like a bit of a ragdoll car. We've got the Aston Martin up in there as well. Quite a few Aston Martins. And of course, as we are in an Antipodean league there is more than enough coverage for the Nissan GT3, which is appearing several times. I hope you're not suggesting I've waited 3 weeks to say that again. Goodness me, Isaac. Scurrilous accusations. But yes, several Nissans out, and in fact, there's 2 Ferraris. One of them is the Spectator as well. But yeah, no, good to see Hurley leading the way in the Ferrari. But that is so close up at the top in the pros there. Stroik and Dernetti. I mean, Stroik with a 2-minute 0.005, Dernetti 2-minute.067. As Max Silver, I think,
look at him go up to the top of the target sheet.
1,000th off the fastest lap.
He's a couple tenths off the fastest lap, but 1:59.6
Right,
is the fastest lap we've got here.
Okay.
Simon Bishop not able to improve on that occasion. I'm just keeping an eye on who is coming towards the line to set times as we get to the pointy end of this session. Here's Riley Nicholson sitting in 15th at the moment. Can he improve his time as he comes towards the line? Will there be a jump up in the field for him? No, there is not. And he'll stay in 15th. For now, Jaden DeWitt jumps up into 25th spot. We've got the 97 car of Wayne Tanner about to come across the line. What can he do? Can he find himself up another spot or two when he comes across the line? He does. He moves up to 19th place. Now, checking in on Bob Norley. He's about to cross the line as well. Can he improve this time around? He does to 17th. So drivers starting to improve. That track is getting quicker. Where is Max Silver? He's back in the pit, so he's done. Braden Henderson up to 2nd as well. So the front row looking very different from what we're used to seeing at the moment. But it is looking pretty quick out there. Josh Struick is on a lap. Matt Donetti is trying to improve. This is going to be the last opportunity for these drivers to improve their time. Can anyone upset Max Silver, who's back in the lane? Or will it be the Defy Motorsports driver in the Nissan GTR, as you like to say, John? I think that's how it's pronounced. The GTR on pole into the Casio triangle for Matt Donetti now. And across the curbs. He's using as much of that curb as he can, but it's not a very forgiving car when it comes to the curbs, the Audi, so he has to be careful. Down towards the line. Is this going to be improvement for the reigning champion? Can he get to the front of the grids? No, he doesn't improve. That is not an improvement. Where is Matt Simmons goes to the top. So Matt Simmons has improved and put himself on provisional pole. Where is Josh Struick? Here he is. Is this going to be an improvement for the CP1 driver towards the line? What will it be? He's backed right out of it, so I don't think that's actually going to be an improvement for Josh Struick, and it isn't. And it doesn't look like anyone else is improving this time around, so that may be our qualifying session with Matt Simmons on his return to the series after missing round 1 on pole position.
Yeah, there was a definite reason I mentioned him in the team roundup there, and he has come back and he has taken pole position by a gargantuan 0.003 of a second. He's only 400ths ahead of Henderson, who is exactly 400ths ahead of Struick. Exactly the same gap separates 2nd and 3rd and 3rd and 4th, and it's less than 1/10 of a second.
Very close.
Absolutely
wild. In the wall for Bob
Bob
Norley. In the wall. Just for good measure across the line. We're looking.
Bit of weight reduction on the car there. Take off the front quarter panel.
That's play on, I think. Rowan Green coming towards the line. Can he improve at the end of this qualifying session? What will it be for the 36 GR driver? No. Not an improvement. Where is Lachlan Dawes about to come across the line? Will it be an improvement for him as well? We've got a handful of cars still yet to cross. Lachlan Dawes does improve inside the top 20 into 20th position.
Nice.
Good result. Les Sandwith, here he is, the last driver to cross the line in this session. Will it be an improvement? And it is to 17th. So what a comeback for Les Sandwith. And he is... Nice drive there up into 17th place, so a strong starting position for him. Looks like a couple drivers outside that 107% rule. I'm sure we'll be trying to sort that out as quickly as possible, but we might be able to give them a little bit of a leeway, considering they are relatively new to the game. And it is a difficult circuit to master, Suzuka, but I'm sure the admins will be all over that one. But looking at our official qualifying results for you, it is Matt Simmons on pole from Max Silver. Then Braden Henderson up in position number 3. Josh Struick on the second row of the grid. Matt Donetti on row number 3 with his BCG1 teammate in Simon Bishop. So both Audis coming out of row number 3. Then it's Paul Cadana-Leon and Aidan Holton in 7th and 8th. Row number 5 belongs to Mark Hurley and Bowen Piper in the Ford Mustang up the field. Inside the top 10, James Barton will start from position number 11 with Michael Toward on row number 6 as well. Row number 7 belongs to Anthony Burrows and Josh Gordon. So 2 TTR cars, Aston Martins, and another TTR car and Peter Sargent and Nathan Lee on row number 8. Then it's Les Sandwith and Rowan Nicholson, row number 9, with Bob Norley and Max Honeybun rounding out the top 10. Lachlan Dawes and Xander Stewart, row number 11, 21st and 22nd respectively. Wayne Tanner and Felix Preslin, 23rd and 24th. Rowan Green and Matt Boyd will be 25th and 26th out of row number 13. Then it's Jaden DeWitt and Guy Farmer on row 14. Natalie Waugh and Andrew Griffin, row number 15, and Mark Hasseldine on debut this evening as a reserve driver for CP Motorsports rounds out the back of the grid. 31 cars tonight in this, John, and I think that's a pretty good turnout considering the nature of this circuit.
Indeed it is, yeah. I mean, drivers know this circuit so well. Sometimes you get a bit of circuit fatigue with certain courses. This is absolutely not one of them. You absolutely feel, even with the level of talent, I don't think you can use talent to describe what I do behind the wheel of a sim. But certainly, you absolutely feel like a race driver through a lot of these corners, right through this course. It is such a good, fun track to get a grip on, and it will be, a lot of fun out there. Quick shout out to the top 3 as well, though, Isaac. They did manage to split, as always, the 3 purple sectors. Oops, there we go. It was.
We'll get this up for you,
Simmons was Simmons was the quickest in sector 1. Silver, who is second, was quickest in sector 2, and Henderson, who was third, is quickest in sector 3.
It's a nice little descending line, isn't it? Look at the gap between those top 4. Less than a tenth of a second between the top 4 cars. To go to a second outside, you need to go all the way back to Bowen Piper in 10th. He's the first car outside of a second. So that is a wonderful result out of qualifying. Just so close between these pro drivers as it always is. And I've had a message from Max Silver to say, in much nicer terms, that he is very nervous about starting on the front row for this race.
Yes, I don't think we need to use our imagination too much to figure out the exact wording of that text. It's certainly one that I've used as well. Starting up Nürburgring, 54 cars. I was leading the arms, and that was certainly
fun time. A fun time,
start,
I think.
we would say that. Yeah. Yes, it was.
Yes.
I made up about 30 places and finished in the top 20 ahead.
Oh, brilliant. There you go.
Most of the silvers and things. Yeah, actually, yeah. Blowing my own trumpet. I do have some talent behind the wheel, folks.
These guys wouldn't like to see you coming, would they? You'd smoke all of them.
Oh, easily. That's why I'm restrained. AGT have actually asked me not to race, so as not to show up the guys.
He showed up for one session. We said, look. We said, look, like, we would love to have you here, but can we put you in the comm box? I think it's safer for everybody if we put you in the comm box. We can't have someone that's, we have someone else coming in and showing these guys how it's done. We've got to keep it somewhat competitive,
Yeah, I got told Simmons, Silver, Dernetti, they've all got very fragile egos. It's fine, I completely understand. Throwing Matt under the bus every chance to get. Matt is a wonderful guy. I crack jokes and things, but I've actually spoken to him. I was fortunate enough to speak to him once after the race. Because of course Isaac was over there broadcasting from the house. So yeah, a great bunch of guys. But I do like throwing shade their way, purely out of jealousy because of the amount of talent they've got. soon.
Yes. Well, and speaking of broadcasting, obviously you mentioned I've broadcast from Matt's house before, and I'm sure he is watching. But a big shout out to Luke, Matt's father-in-law. Obviously, we had some broadcast issues round one. My internet decided to play silly buggers, and Luke has been kind enough to allow me to use their house, their spare room, to broadcast these rounds. So I'm very, very grateful to them for allowing us to make these races happen, because, man, we love to watch them, and I think it's important that we get to share it with everybody across the country and everybody that these guys want to share their racing with, because it's just an amazing thing. So a big thank you to Luke. There he is in the chat, and I'm sure he's watching on in the next room. There's actually a wall connecting us so they're in the lounge room watching along. But big thank you to him, and as we get ready to go racing, the cars are gridded up. There's Max Silver on the front row. And he's going to be very nervous. We've got a car pulling off in the background. Which car is that? I'm just trying to see. It's one of the Mercedes that is pulled to the side. 275 has returned to the pits. That is Natalie Wah in the BMW. Wow. So we'll keep a close eye on it as to who that is. It's car 69, so it's Guy Farmer that's pulled off to the side. So we'll keep a close eye on that, but we are not too far away from a race start. So we're going to go through this race start. We are not too far away from a green flag. Look at them all rolling down the front straight. We were here in season one. That was for a 1 hour race. A bit different this evening. Got two 30-minute sprint races coming your way. No pit stops required tonight. Just all out racing from lights to flag. And we have a green flag and we are away. Matt Simmons, your pole sitter, leads the field away side by side with Max Silver on the run to turn one for the first time. Everybody looking for a piece of real estate as we run through. That's the two Audi teammates side by side. Who comes out on top in that situation? I think it is Matt Donetti, who's going to go side by side by consequence with Jeesh, but they sort it out before they get to the start of the S's section. This is very much single file through here, but a clean start for the drivers side by side in the background. That was one of the Ford Mustangs, I believe. And it may have actually been Lachlan Dawes. It was going side by side with Max Honeybun in front. They're sorting out these positions as we run up through the S's to the first Lesmo now. I believe it. No, I don't think it's Lesmo. I think that's Monza that I'm thinking of. But through into towards the end of the first sector, and we'll get the proper timings up, and the order will establish themselves. So it is Matt Simmons leading the way from Max Silver, from Braden Henderson, Josh Struick, Matt Donetti, and Simon Bishop round out your top six. But a great start for the man on pole. He leads the way in this race.
And in the Pro-Am, just to be saying, absolutely solid start from the Pro-Am drivers. Oh, as we come to the hairpin, we've got an Aston Martin rolling off the track. I'll find out who that is in a moment. But confirmation, Piper. Oh no, Riley.
He's made contact by the looks of it with Max Honeybun, who has a significant amount of damage to that front bumper. So Riley Nicholson, technically not a Defy driver, but a very close relationship with this man on screen. And looks like there's some steering damage on that. On that Nissan.
Yeah, if it wasn't for bad luck in a race, Riley Nicholson wouldn't have any. Such a quick, clean driver. I've known him since Chad Rice, and he is just seems to attract all the bad luck. I know drivers that go through phases like that. I've known quite a few over the years. He will come good and he will start winning races. As I was saying, though, Piper has taken the lead, so no Ferrari dominance on lap one here in the Pro-Ams. It's Piper that's taken the lead. Hurley in second, and Barton has got himself up to third. Burrows, Toward and Gordon, three drivers with TT in the team name, are certainly working well together at the moment. It's an all-Aston affair just outside the podium in the Pro-Ams. And of course, Lee in the Pros qualified down in 18th or 17th, has made up a couple of spots, getting past Dawes and Sargent to move closer towards the rest of the pros, but certainly the lead of the Pro-Ams sitting with Piper in that Mustang. So it's a battle between Fogarty and Wright at the moment, and it's Fogarty who is leading the way in the Mustang. Come on, Ferrari. I'm not biased, by the way. You all are. That's what the problem is. It's definitely not me.
I'm fairly certain I'm actually in a Lexus, so I don't know how I ended up in a Mustang, but certainly picked the Lexus as my car of choice this season. Not that I'll get to drive it on any occasion, but what a clean start it has been for this top group. Pretty much everyone is either where they started or only a position or two down. Matt Donetti's actually back to sixth off this race start, so he's struggling in the early stages of this race with the pace in that Audi. He's lost a spot to his teammate. So that's something interesting to note, and we will keep an eye on it. But up and down this field, a couple battles going on throughout the field. Felix Preslin. Oh.
Barton's just got an overtake done on Hurley. What a move that was on the way into Spoon. Barton down in 11th place. Absolutely nailed that one on. Hurley had absolutely no defence for that whatsoever. Beautiful move in the Nissan TNR by Barton, and there's confirmation on the tower now that he is indeed up to 10. So Hurley taking pole position, but on race trim, yeah, he has trimmed down some pace, it looks like. He's maybe carrying a bit more fuel. Oh no, it's a 30-minute sprint race, Mr. Commentator. Please pay attention to the parameters of the race. That will more inform the commentary that you deliver. But yeah, Hurley, he is being delivered to the bottom spot of the podium, and I tell you what, that is 3 Aston Martins in a strong slipstream train that are coming towards him, and they're going to go side by side into turn number 1, because why not? It's the dodgy turn number 1, is why not? But oh yeah, there we go. No room to go, run wide, and that is Tower to believe.
It's Burrows
finds
that's
himself
gone
off track. Oh, Burrows.
Burrows, car number 10.
Sorry,
so he's
yeah.
on wide. It's hard to tell. They all look the same in these liveries, don't they? The PTR cars. It's only really denominated, I believe, by the wheels and the different wheel colours. Oh,
big contact. Sandwith is round the wrong way. Is it Sandwith? No, Sandwith has made it through, sorry. He bounced.
Is it? Car 79.
It's Boyd.
Matt
Car
Boyd.
79, Boyd in 23rd place, yep.
And he's got it parked there. He needs to get it moving soon. He's gone back to the pit lane, so he's jumped back to the pits. And that is a huge hit. Did you see which car he did actually make contact with, John? Did we catch that?
I think Sargent and Dawes were involved there as well. They were all round about. Sandwith was, I think Sandwith just avoided it. And in fact, will I be brave and try and go into the replay?
Sounds
work
dangerous.
It does a bit.
Dangerous.
It does a bit. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's not do that just in case. The game does like to crash, unfortunately, when you're in spectator mode. So,
it does. But look
yeah,
at this at the front of the
bit
field.
of contact.
A big bit of contact by the sounds of it. I was going to say, look at this at the front of the field. These guys haven't really separated from each other yet. It's a bit of a train all the way back to Porkdown and Leon in 8th place. They're all within a second of each other. Aiden Holton's a little bit disconnected from this group now as they cross over the updated timing. He's under pressure from Porkdown and Leon in the other BCG Porsche. Porsche seems to be the car to drive here tonight. The fastest lap of the race belongs to Josh Struick. So he's flying out there at the moment and doing a wonderful job, it has to be said, on his foray into the championship. He missed out last season. He missed the first couple rounds of AGT and therefore was not able to capitalise on making a championship charge. James Barton actually now inherits the fastest lap of the race, so he's got a lot of pace as he sets after Bowen Piper. James Barton won the AM class for the first round back in Kyalami, so he'll be looking to repeat that success this evening across both these sprint races. We are 7 minutes into this race, and I feel like we've had quite a lot happening up and down this field. There's been action aplenty, which is always the case with Suzuka, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. As I say, this is a driver's track. This is a spectator's track. It's just a track you absolutely love. Oh, and don't worry as well, Isaac. That may be a curse that I've inflicted upon you. Getting the Lesmos and the Degnas confused. Thank you, Kieran Clifford. Big shout out to my lifelong best friend who pickled my brain with that one back in the day, and I have not been able to correct it since. So I too have no idea whether it's the Lesmos or the Degnas, but it's a double right-hander that looks exactly the same. So, yeah, it's okay to call them the same name, I would say.
So I did have a consult of my track map afterwards and saw that it was in fact called the Degnan Corners. I know this one's the Spoon Curve, and that's because the corner, if you look at it on the map, looks a bit like a spoon. Funny that. But we're looking at Max Silver. He's a little bit disconnected from the back of Matt Simmons now as he fights for the lead of this race. Josh Struick not able to keep up with Braden Henderson now. So Braden Henderson, a man that I think flies relatively under the radar. He's the reigning king of the ring. He also won the Nürburgring as well last season. So he's the king of the ring times two. He won the Red Bull and the Nürburgring. So he has got a lot of pace in that Mercedes. And looking forward to seeing what he can do. We're being told that Natalie Wah lost internet, that good old Western Australian connection. So she's out of this race, so we're back to 30 cars. Very brutal indeed. So we're back to 30 cars now in this race, unfortunately. But hopefully we'll see Natalie come back in the next round.
Yeah, fingers crossed. If there is anyone watching from the Australian government, FIA or anything, please sort out the Australian internet. You spent millions laying all that fibre cable, and the houses are all still connected with copper.
Oh,
please sort it out. Please sort it out.
Max Silver's lost a spot. He's now in third, and he's vulnerable to Josh Struick. He's lost a spot to Braden Henderson. We've missed exactly where that's happened, but now he's under quite a considerable amount of pressure from the championship leader and the two Audis behind, I should say. Oh, big slide off the exit. So Bishop just really putting the grip limits of that Audi to the test, isn't he? You said earlier, there's been a couple of drivers that have complained about the lack of grip at this circuit throughout the week. So it's been a bit of a mission for these guys to get to grips with these cars, get to understanding how they work, and find a window where they operate in a sense that they can just sort of trust the car. Because at the moment, as it stands, the car isn't super stable, and they are struggling with grip. But Max Silver seems to be the latest victim of that. He is moving a bit backwards in this race in terms of his lap times. He's made a little bit of distance to Josh Struick now in this third sector, but we'll have to keep an eye on him because another mistake, he could lose this podium here. Max Silver, I'll be honest, John, he's one of the drivers that I've picked to win a race at some point this season. His rise through AGT and the speed that he has shown as the seasons go on has been nothing short of amazing.
Yeah, he is a very quick driver. I mentioned him at the start as well. But yeah, battle going on for 7th place. Camden Leon looking to fend off the leader in the Pro-Am class. Couldn't we see a Pro-Am driver getting up there? But Camden Leon. Oh, no, and sorry, he's applying the pressure to Halton. My apologies. Yes, so it's Halton that's going for it. And he's going for it round the outside of turn number 1, where angels fear to tread, but race drivers going absolutely full-blooded. And it is going to be Piper in the Pro-Ams that is going to potentially be gifted 2 positions here. It's the third car in the equation that's always the best position. And these 2 Porsches are going to find out the hard way that Mustang in a straight line is absolutely the car to beat as they come through the S's. Oh, I so love driving open wheelers around here. It's just such a good course, such a good course. If you've never driven Suzuka on a sim, please do make it an absolute priority when you're flying around this course. Oh, the Porsche, my good giddy hand.
There is no grip left on that at all whatsoever. There was that was about as sideways as you can possibly get. Look at Josh Struick trying to find a way past Max Silver as well. It's all happening for positions at the moment up and down this field. There is not a shortage of battles as you look, and Josh Struick is applying the blowtorch to the back of that Nissan GTR at the moment. He's putting him under quite a lot of pressure. Max Silver, he was very nervous at the start of this race. I'm sure he's even more nervous now with that Porsche looking about as large as it does in the rearview mirror. Here's the battle we were talking about just then for 7th place. Paul Leon trying to find a way past Aiden Holton, but Bowen Piper behind very quick, and he wants to get out of the way of these cars as soon as possible because he's got James Barton coming for the class victory, and he'd love to put a car between himself and James Barton if possible.
Yeah, absolutely. You want as many cars between you and your competitors as you can, and if they are in a quicker class as well, it certainly helps the case. And Piper, he is being gifted a front row seat to this battle. But not only that, Barton as well. Let's not count him out in the Nissan. All of a sudden, he is getting very close once again to Piper. Hence Piper's urgency to get one of these Porsches behind him, because we can see into turn number 1, it's going to be absolute single file. Barton and Piper absolutely going for it, and they need to grip. And so the Porsches once again, Halton and Camden and Leon, almost going side by side through turn number 1, through the S's that become anti-banked curve. And this anti-banked curve is absolutely a suitable name for that corner, because it really is. You have to have the weighted distribution of the car absolutely spot on through there, or you are off into the sand. In fact, just coming through this corner here, I actually ended up clipping the curb and going off to the right and taking the escape road, the old pit lane right there, and ended up back at the start of the track again. All captured on stream as well. Safe for posterity. Thanks
doesn't happen if it's not on stream. That's what they say, isn't it?
Indeed, if there's no video, it didn't happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
That's right. That's the rules.
It's definitely happening through the field still, though. Up in the front, yeah, you're watching Struik as well. This battle for the overall lead is absolutely insane. Team BCG, Bishop and Dernetti, I'd say they're in a good position at the moment. The two teammates in the Audis sitting just right behind this battle. Very good communication between them. And I could easily see them vault past a couple of spots, although Henderson and Simmons, they're doing their absolute best to extricate themselves from this battle. Henderson's just taken the fastest lap, and they've now got a 1.5 second gap back to Silver in third place. Silver has got 1.2 seconds separating him from the next three drivers. So very, very, very close with them there, and Piper as well. I'm going to keep an eye on ninth place. If you keep an eye on the pros up at the top, and then we will see where the chips fall, because both classes have got a battle for the lead right at the top, and Candon Leon is looking to hang on to a bit of personal pride and not get overtaken by any of the pro-ams, although given this way, he's shimmied, he's shaking, he's having a look, he's thinking about going up that side. Nope, he's decided against that. Candon Leon will hold on to 8th place for the moment. Piper will hold on to the lead of the pro-ams, and Barton will still be holding on to the shirty tailies, as we say here in Scotland, of Piper there in 9th, and they're getting a good gap back to Hurley, who started in pole, of course, in the pro-ams, now finds himself in 3rd with a big gap front and back, so he's looking pretty secure. That's already 15 minutes gone, Isaac.
Time flies when you're having fun. That's what they say, isn't it?
It really does. It really does. Although I'll tell you what, a 36-degree track temperature, all they're going to be flying is the blisters off these cars. High tyre wear. So even for 30 minutes, Isaac, that is going to be a fair bit of tyre wear they've got as they are going side by side into the hairpin once again, it looks like.
It's, look at this battle at the front of the field. It's hard to take our eyes off it. Everyone's sort of spreading out further down the field. It's really this top 10 that is, these cars inside the top 10 that are locked in these very intense battles. Lachlan Dawes is putting Nathan Lee under a little bit of pressure in 16th and 17th place. And he'll like that one because it's got the numbers 6 and 7 in it. And Lachlan Dawes, big fan of that, obviously. But no, Josh Struik trying to put as much pressure as he can on Max Silver, but he's actually finding, I think, that Simon Bishop, every time Josh Struik goes for a move and can't pull it off on Max Silver, Simon Bishop is right there. So he goes from looking forward to all of a sudden having to look very much backwards. And it is, it's not making it easy to try and get past the 75 car for Josh Struik. So this is a situation now where exit off the final corner. He's got a much nicer drive here than he has on previous occasions. This could be what he needed to maybe set up in turn 1. Max Silver goes a little bit defensive with his line down the front straight just to dissuade that battle ever so slightly. Riley Nicholson in the chat. Great battle so far. Would love if you were out there involved in one of those battles, Riley, but I see you're still parked in the pit lane, so not a great start for yourself, but hopefully we'll see you back out there for race 2, obviously. Again, this is only race 1 of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. We do have another race coming up, and I've just noticed that my screen says it's still qualifying. That is not true. It is very much in the race. And look at now, Josh Struik unable to get past Max Silver. He is now receiving just as much pressure as he's applying to Max Silver from Simon Bishop, who's closed back up. So they all spread out a little bit. Then Josh Struik closes up to the man in front, Max Silver, and then as a result, he gets closed up to by Simon Bishop, who looks to the outside now. Here we go under brakes. There's a little bit of touching between the two. They're going to get away with this, though, through the hairpin. But Simon Bishop, the intent is there from the number 2 driver, our Season 1 champion. So he's not a stranger to being at the front of this field by any stretch of the imagination. He's at 10th place. We'll have a look what's happening at 10th place at the moment, and it is a battle. This is between Barton and Piper. It is starting to heat up for the lead of this Pro-Am class.
It really is. These two have been absolutely on point. The two Porsches ahead have kind of gotten themselves a bit away, got themselves a bit of real estate between this battle here, but there's no real estate whatsoever between the Mustang and the Nissan. And happy days, folks. Never fear, the Ferrari is on the charge, so everyone can rest easy now, because Hurley is closing back in. He's got to within a second with these two. slowing themselves down ever so slightly, having to take the defensive line. Piper is in that Mustang, with the Pro-Am podium is looking as electric as the Am. This is why you watch AGT, folks. This is why the race at AGT. It is absolutely wildly close. We are, what, 19 minutes in, and I've absolutely no idea who is going to win either class. I mean, Toward and Gordon are not too far behind in those Aston Martins. Anything untoward goes up. Oh, and he's off.
Oh, he is off.
He's off.
In the
Barton's off in
background.
turn 1.
No, that's not Barton. Is that Max Silver off the road? No, it's not. I believe it is. Don't panic, ladies and gentlemen. It is Max Honeybun, the lapped Defy Motorsports 1 car.
Wow.
So
Okay.
he is getting out of the way, but also off the road a fair way.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's is that Simon Bishop
just
and
spun it.
Mazzanetti both through on Josh Struick, by the way, at the front of this field. So we've missed that. And Simon Bishop and Mazzanetti both getting the overtake done. So Josh Struick maybe a mistake somewhere, and now has to go to work once again to get back through this field.
Does indeed, yeah. All change. Quick change, quiet chat, as they say. A bit of the old QC. But yeah, it's all changing. Struick now dumped down to 6th position. Camden Leon is absolutely on top of Halton as well. And Barton and Piper all have just had an Aston Martin have a bit of a wayward experience through. In fact, the Aston Martin's not enjoying that hairpin either. Sorry, I was just having a look down the field there as well. The Astons of Toward, Gordon and Sargent not enjoying the hairpin there. Struick certainly not enjoying the position that he finds himself in at the moment, and Camden Leon as well. The battle between himself and Halton as they head along the back stretch into 130R. Absolutely flying through, although the lead Porsche here has just gone a bit to the right, so he's going to lose momentum. They're going to be side by side into the final chicane, potentially. No, Camden Leon with some astute defending there, but Piper knew what was coming. Tries for the cutback on the way out with the chicane, can't quite make it. This is going to be absolutely no, they're not going to be nose to tail. They're going to be side by side on the way into turn number 1 along the start-finish straight as Piper and Barton go nose to tail. We're going to potentially see 2 overtakes here. They do pin it side by side, and it is Camden and Leon that gets the move done. That was set up through 130R, gets the job done through turn number 1, and this Camden and Leon got himself up to 8th place, and Piper and Barton almost swapping positions as well. They've only got a 10th of a second separating those two, so all the battles happening around about this 8th, 9th, 7th, 8th and 9th position, but certainly Camden and Leon will get confirmation of that in a moment. He has got himself past Halton, and that is points paying positions that he's taken there. The number 87 now up to 7th place, and that is a very nice move indeed. Very nice move indeed.
Very, very nice move. And we put a poll up in the chat if you're watching along on YouTube and on the AGT Adrenaline GT YouTube. Make sure you go and vote in the poll. Who's going to finish 3rd in this race? Will it be the man that currently sits there, Max Silver, or can Josh Struick, Simon Bishop, and or Mazzanetti get that position from him in this last 8 minutes? Go and have your say in the poll. Let us know who you think is a chance at taking out the 3rd place in this race, because it's fairly hotly contested at the moment. They're all still within a second of each other, but no one's really separated. Looking at that front group, you would have expected someone like Matt Simmons to maybe pull away from Braden Henderson and Max Silver, but Braden Henderson just over a second away from Matt Simmons, and Max Silver only a half a second away from Braden Henderson. So it's still going on at the front of this field. Max Silver could get another spot here. And Clayton Twining, good evening to you, mate. Lovely to see you all in chat. Lovely to see so many familiar faces getting around in chat and being involved. Paul Cadena-Leon, that was a lovely move, wasn't it? As you said, set it up through 130R. It was a long setup, but he managed to execute it down. Piper's off the road. You're right. Piper has run wide. He's going to lose 2 spots here. One to Barton and another one to Hurley. So that's 2 positions lost, and Bowen Piper goes from 1st in class to 3rd in class because he ran wide at the exit of the final corner. Not something we see too often, but still can be done if you just... That's a very bumpy section of the track, and if you get the bumps in the wrong way, touch the curb. There you go. So that's what happened for Bowen Piper. He's touched the curb and very much run wide, and he'll be frustrated there because he was in a good position. He was doing a great job of defending from Barton, but still time in this race to maybe get those spots back.
Yeah, 7 minutes left to go from the action that we've seen and the pace that we've seen already. Certainly Not out with, I mean, he's on the podium. He's certainly not out of the hunt for second place. I would be biased at all. Come on, Hurley in the Ferrari. He's back up to second place for Barton. Now leading the way in the Nissan GT3 in the Pro-Am. So all the action all the time in the Pro-Am class. They do have a good gap back to the rest of the Pro-Am field. There is a battle going on with Nordley and Presland. The two Mercedes drivers having a duel further down the Pro-Am order, down in 20th position, but certainly up at the front there. That is the merest of mistakes by Piper on the curb through the Casio triangle, and that finds him ejected from the top spot and unceremoniously dumped back down into third place. He's got 6 minutes to go, so he's going to have 3 laps tops to get himself back past the Ferrari. He managed it at the start of the race. I was going to say, can he do it towards the end of the race? And certainly his run through spin there would suggest he is going to get this done sooner rather than later. I'm still keeping an eye on that while you all are watching this incredible battle up at the top. Absolutely nip and tuck up at the top of the field. And I tell you what, the Mustang, 11th place, might be about to retake second position. They're going to go side by side at the Casio triangle. It's where he made the mistake on the last lap, and he's about to rectify it. Oh, and he's pushed him a bit wide over there, trying to get more real estate than he was entitled to, perhaps. We'll let the stewards have a look at that one. All we know is that Piper is back up to second place. It's taken him less than a lap to get him back up to second. As we cross the line there, it changes, and that is Piper back up to second, Hurley down to third, and Barton leading the way in the Pro-Ams with a 2-second gap and only 5 minutes left to go, Isaac. I absolutely love this league.
It's so good, isn't it? How good is the racing here? Max Silva and Simon Bishop split 40% of the votes each on who's going to finish third in this race. Matt Donetti with 20% of the vote. Oh, look at how aggressive Simon Bishop was through the first Dagna. This group at the front, ladies and gentlemen, it is close. Braden Henderson right in behind Matt Simmons, and look at how close Simon Bishop is to Max Silva. This could be a matter of when, not if, for Simon Bishop getting past Max Silva. He's putting him under a lot of pressure. Matt Donetti has lost a spot to Josh Struick, which I think was a mistake for the BCG driver, given how much he's fallen behind. So that's a little bit uncharacteristic from Matty. We don't see him doing something like that too often. He'll be kicking himself because he was in a good position to earn some points back on the man that leads this championship, Josh Struick. But again, another race still to go this evening. It looks like Josh Struick maybe not gelling with that Porsche the way that he would like. So he hasn't been able to keep up with this group ever since he's lost the spot. We'll keep a close eye on that. But Matt Simmons leading the way. Matt Donetti, can he come back? The question is, what can the Matts do from here? And we've only got just over 3 minutes to go now. Not too long. Probably another 2 laps, I would imagine, from here. So we're on lap 12. We'll get 14 laps in this race today as we start lap number 13.
Indeed, yeah, not many to go, as you say, and the is still looking very close throughout the field. I'm just keeping an eye still on the Pro-Am lead. Barton, Piper and Hurley, the 3 on the podium, but Toward in the Aston Martin, he is now within a second of Hurley, so we might see a late change, or a couple of late changes on the podium in the Pro-Am, because Piper is all over the back of Barton, and Toward certainly in the Aston Martin is looking very quick in these closing stages, and Hurley is going to have to hang on for dear life here to try and keep himself on a podium spot here in race number 1. We do have race number 2 to go, but you want to bring home as many points as you can, and if you're in a podium position on the penultimate lap, you certainly want to be able to bring that one home. Toward, though, very much looking to rain on that parade. Oh, as he's run wide, Piper's just made a mistake. Out with the anti-bank curves, he's made a mistake heading down into the Degnas. He's going to put himself under some unnecessary pressure from Hurley. And I tell you what, Toward might get a free 2 for 1 here as they head through the Degnas. All 3 cars bouncing off the curbs once again. This is all playing in the hands of Barton in the GNR, who is still leading the way. We've got Piper, Hurley and Toward now within half a second of one another into the hairpin. Oh, here we go. Which battle do we watch? Do we watch the pros battle out with the top spot? Do we watch the Pro-Ams battle out with the top spot? There is just so much going on. Only 2 minutes left to go, and we get to do it all again. Let's go.
That's right. We get to do this all again, ladies and gentlemen. We are Far from over this evening. We're almost only at the halfway point of proceedings tonight. Another qualifying session and race coming your way not long after this one. But we still have 2 minutes remaining. One more lap we will get. So one more opportunity for Braden Henderson to try and take this one away from Matt Simmons, who has led since the start. Max Silva, can he hold on? Josh Struick, 5th place.
Oh, they've bump drafted. They've almost... Wow. Sorry, I've just jumped all over you there, Isaac. Barton and Piper. Absolutely nose to tail. They almost went side by side through 130 yard there. My heart was in my mouth for a moment. They then bump drafted on the exit. Hurley had to lift slightly to avoid going back into the back of them, and all that's done is brought Toward into this podium conversation, and he is loudly letting people know that he is in the conversation. That Aston Martin is going to gobble up the Ferrari in a straight line. This is an interesting last lap for the top of both splits here, Isaac.
Yes, absolutely, and I'll leave you to keep a close eye on that, but I'm going to keep an eye on here at the front of the field. Braden Henderson, he's on a charge. He knows this is his last opportunity. We've been told this is the final lap. Confirmation from race control as they cross the line. So Braden Henderson, he has to do everything he can to try and hold. Look at the way they bounce across the track surface through the first Degner. That is a lovely camera angle that we saw. And Braden Henderson, will he look for a move here? He does think about it, but not able to capitalise. Will try and set himself up here for a better run out of the hairpin on the run towards Spoon. Likewise, in the background, Simon Bishop trying to do the same thing. What's happening with Bowen Piper? He's still in behind Barton. Not close enough on this occasion for anything to happen. Oh my God, Barton's around. Barton has spun. Is that a helping hand from Bowen Piper? I think it might be. He's waiting up to try and redress that. So he's trying to do the right thing and redress. We'll have to come back to that because we are almost at the end of this race. Braden Henderson throwing everything he can at Matt Simmons, but he has used all of his experience in this race to try and hold on. Oh, massive slide through 130R for Braden Henderson. Turned it in early. He had to do something into the Casio triangle for the final time. But Matt Simmons, as long as he doesn't make a mistake here, what have we done? We've hit drive. I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do at all. Where is Matt Simmons? Here he is, round the final corner. He is going to cross the line to win the first race of the evening on his return to AGT. Braden Henderson comes home second, and Max Silva holds on for third. Simon Bishop fourth, Josh Struick in fifth, and Matt Donetti, after a late mistake in that race, in fifth. Who gets it out of Porganelli and Aiden Holton? Look at that gap between the two of them. Mark Hurley, after all that, will come home to win the Pro-Am class from Toward, from Piper. Gordon comes home in 12th, then Sargent, then Barton in the end, which I think, if we go back and have a look, there was contact between the two of them at that hairpin. And that'll be looked at by the stewards, I have no doubt. Burrows in the top 15. Then Dawes, Sandwith home in 17th place from Nathan Lee. And Bob Norley, with 1 foot, braking with his right foot, comes home in 19th. And then Felix Preslin is going to be the driver that rounds out your top 20 this evening. Caitlin Donetti in chat. You'll like this one, John. Caitlin Donetti has said Season 2 champion is washed up. Nothing like a bit of friendly jabbing from your wife in the YouTube chat after you finish in 6th place, isn't it? But no, glad to have Caitlin in chat watching along. And Mark Hazeldine on debut. Looks like he's going to come home in 26th place, which, you know, ordinarily nothing to jump at, but it's a very fantastic result for him on debut to move up from the back of the grid into 26th place. And himself and Matt Boyd will be the last 2 cars off the line. We had a look at our poll. 8 votes in the end. And 38% of people said that Max Silva and Simon Bishop would finish on the pole. So that was tied. It was pretty close at the end, so I'll give them that. Matt Donetti, 24%. No one thought that Josh Struick was going to end on the podium. Poor Josh Struick finished in 5th place in the end. But what a race one that was.
Indeed it was, yeah. Some of my information may be outdated because just as we got on to the final few corners, I got disconnected from the server. So okay. Let me see timetable. There we go. I've got some timetables up. So yeah, we did catch the action, all of it. But yeah, what an opening What an opening race. We've got another 30 minutes of this to go again. Who was it that messaged you to say he was nervous? Silver?
Max Silver finished
Yeah.
in third.
Max Silver.
Just keep in
Finished in third.
mind,
He's got to do it all again.
if you have a look at the interval between those top four, only just under 2 seconds separate them. 1/10 in the end between Simmons and Henderson. That's a very close race indeed. You have to, pretty much all cars that didn't have an incident finished on the lead lap. The first car to finish a lap down was Mark Hazeldine. He was the first car to finish, it was Xander Stewart, to finish a lap down. So 26 cars on the lead lap. That's a very good result from these guys in the first race. But congratulations to Matt Simmons. We'll jump over to our chatting screen now. We may actually have a Matt Simmons to chat to potentially. We'll see if we can grab a chat with him. I'll send him a message, see if he's keen for a chat, and we'll find out. But yeah, what a result that was, and hopefully we get much the same in race number 2.
Yeah, it reminds me, well, there's going to be drivers that are looking for a bit of redemption after that one, especially in the Pro-Ams. Hurley taking the win. After taking pole position, he looked all at sea in third, but then that late mistake saw him promoted back to the lead, towered up to second place right at the end. So an incredible drive by him to keep in touch with the podium and then pounce when the opportunity presented itself. Certainly Piper and Gordon and Barton as well will be looking to right the wrongs of race number 1 and try and bring themselves home. A well-deserved podium it would be, because we've seen the pace that they've got and the consistency. Just that one slight mistake sees them tumbling off the podium. So yeah, race number 2, there's a lot at stake for the drivers here. They've got a sighter of how they're going to drive around one another. They've got an idea of what everyone's pace is going to be. So yeah, it could be a bit of a cagey affair to start this one, but it is AGT. So they'll all be full balls to the wall, I believe they say, looking for those overtakes in positions, and it's going to be, yeah, a fascinating return battle, especially in the Pro-Ams. I cannot wait to see how that one plays out over the next 30-minute race that we've got.
Yeah, well, hopefully. I've been told Matt Simmons has said he's going to wait till he bottles race 2 so we can interview someone else for the overall round. So I don't believe Matt's going to jump in to have a quick chat to us, but that's okay. He's got a race to prepare for, and we are not too far away from getting started in qualifying for the second race this evening. We'll look forward to seeing what those guys can do. Luke's in the chat saying, I'm impressed with Max coming third, held his nerves, and finished strong. Great outcome. Absolutely, Luke. Could not agree more. It's a great drive for Max. Very measured. And this is a guy that's just over 12 months ago, probably about 13, 14 months ago now, was having a massive car accident, had a broken back, and then made his return to AGT probably about this time last year, actually. And since then has been on an upwards trajectory. And yeah, he's just absolutely astounded with the pace that he's had, the drive that he continually puts together. And I am not surprised at all that we see him at the pointy end of this field in third place. And as I said, he is my pick this season, John, for a race win at some point, because the pace he's got is continuing to go up. And I have no doubt he's going to win a race before the season's over.
We've got a long season ahead, and given some of the pace and qualifying pace and consistency that he's showing in the race, I do think that he is definitely one of the nailed-on drivers to bring themselves home a win before the end of the season, especially with the track list that we've got in the car he is in. So yeah, we will see good things. Sorry, I've just seen that there about the audio. Hopefully, I've fixed it, but the last Discord update has seemed to change my microphone, so I'm going to dig into my settings a little bit more, see if we can kill that echo for you. But it does seem to be just when I've got my mic unmuted. Very strange.
It's look, it's okay. I just don't know if I think one of me's enough, to be honest. I don't know if everyone needs to hear two of me. I think one Isaac is like, yeah, I'm glad you agree. One Isaac is more than enough. And look, some might even say that less than one Isaac is sometimes optimal, but hey, you get what you get. Now I am doing this mainly because I sort of got told that I have to, because I mentioned it this evening to Luke, and he said it would be a good thing to shout out. So we're going to give it a shout out now. If you're liking what you're seeing, and you want to support us even more so we can continue doing the awesome stuff that we do, please jump over and purchase some of our merchandise. I'm going to put a link in the chat, make sure that it's pinned for everyone to see. But we would massively appreciate you guys jumping over and purchasing some merchandise. It would mean a lot to us and the work that we do here at AGT. It keeps us able to put on amazing events, to offer the prize money that we do to these drivers, and just supports us in both our GT7 and our ACC side of things. So really looking forward to what's to come with AGT in the future. And hopefully you guys are more than happy to get over there and purchase some merch. So I'm going to put that in the chat now. If anybody's keen, we have plenty of merch actually. We have hats, stubby coolers, shirts, jumpers as well. I believe we have some bucket caps floating around. That was at the request of Max Silver, so you can thank him for that one. So thanks, Max Silver. Max Silver wanted the bucket cap, and I think he's actually yet to purchase one. So we'll take that up with Max actually as to why he's not purchased one. But yes, make sure you jump over. Also, a huge thank you as well to our broadcast partner, TrackSpotTV. They are doing some amazing things in the world of sim race broadcasting. I've been doing some work with some iRacing series. Did some work with you last night, John, on the Tasman Racing League series. And it's so much fun to be a part of those broadcasts. It's so much fun to watch as well. It's such engaging content, and they have such an amazing team of commentators. And if you would like to be involved, or you have a league that needs some broadcasting, head over to www.trackspot.tv and drop George and John a message, and they'll be more than happy to help you out, because TrackSpot TV are doing some wonderful things in the world of motorsport broadcasting.
Yeah, as Isaac said, jump on over if you do have a league, or if you are get involved in the commentary as well. I believe at the moment we have 13 commentators across 5 countries, I believe. So yeah, we have leagues all around the world, and they are exceptional. AGT, we've got you guys, and as Isaac mentioned, Tasman Racing League, the Ovals and the Road Series, absolutely incredible. The Porsche Carrera Cup we've got on there. We've got Formula Drivers League as well. They do a phenomenal open wheel series on my Tuesday morning. So you guys Tuesday night. So yeah, lots and lots and lots of racing content on there. And an absolutely incredible team behind the scenes. Well, we've got Isaac, but yeah, we kind of had to. I'm sure it was a court order or something. Community
I'm
service.
paying you. You got to be nice to me.
But yeah, no, it is. We are more than happy to be on board with AGT and Isaac and the team. I personally really enjoy working with Isaac. It has to be said. I worked with him a couple of times last season. He is an up-and-coming talent. He is going to be an absolute top-tier commentator, and you will hear him live from Bathurst one day. I guarantee it.
It'll be me broadcasting to my own YouTube channel with a GoPro as the cars come past. It'll be from Bathurst, but we never said where it'd be broadcast. But no, appreciate your kind words, John. Obviously, as always, love to pump your tires up as well. You're an amazing commentator with a vast array of experience, and the fact that you take time out of your busy life to come and hang out with us here at AGT and chat to these guys and commentate the racing and keep me company is always greatly appreciated. So we're very glad to have you on board this season, and obviously we're only just getting started, so a long way to go. And I believe, John, we're underway for qualifying once again, so we might actually jump down to the track.
Indeed, yeah, the cars are back out. I looked up there, and just the way the light was shimmering on the fence, it looked like it was raining for a moment. My heart jumped with joy. I thought we were about to see a wet racetrack, but no, it is dry. Slightly down on temperature. We're down to 34 degrees, so we're going to see a bit less blistering on the tyres. 36, a little bit hot. 34, we're getting down into the 30. Of course, the drivers prefer it to be around 26 degrees, so you can get the optimum amount of tyre wear, especially or even in a 30-minute race. 36, 38 degree track temperature, you're going to get a fair bit of blistering on those tyres, and the grip will go. We're hearing a giggle. Caitlin Donetti in the chat. There we go. Can I read this one? Let's see what she said.
Go for it.
Yeah. I've just given Matt a pep talk. Let's pray for some improvement, we have 2 children to feed.
Those 2 children are the most important children. It's Enzo, their Rottweiler, and he is the most loveliest dog. He's a beautiful dog. And they have Taco, their cat, and she's lovely as well. And I think, yeah, Matt Donetti, he needs to start getting some results so he can feed his 2 children, because otherwise, I don't know what's going to happen. He might be in trouble tonight if he doesn't get a good result here. I'm just kidding, of course, but no, it's it's those very, very, very lovely 2 children that he does have. But we'll see what he can do. He's on a qualifying lap at the moment,
actually. Especially on a cat called Taco.
Oh,
you've got a cat called Taco, and you've got a hungry Rottweiler.
I'm sure they would be the best of friends. Enzo wants nothing more than to be best friends with Taco, and Taco's a little bit unsure if she wants something to do with Enzo yet. Hasn't quite worked that out. But this man, we've been talking about his kids, and now we refer to him and his qualifying time. What is he going to do when he crosses the line? Is this a valid lap for Matt Donetti? I'd imagine it would be. What is it going to be? A 2:06. Not the fastest we've seen in qualifying, but could be decent.
Good benchmark.
Bowen Piper, good benchmark. Josh Struick, though, a 2:04. So he's jumped right up there straight away. No mucking around for this man, is there?
No half measures, no messing about. Simon Bishop has entered the chat. He's entered provisional pole as well. Struick is safe. I've got 2 seconds. I've got 2:10s on him. BCG1 back up at the top, doing Audi things there. 2:187. The old 187. Can't finish that song lyric. We've got Struick in second. Donetti currently third. Bowen Piper. Doing the dance. He's got himself up into 4th position at the moment, and more importantly for him, he's got half a second separating him from Barton. We haven't got a timing at the moment from Hurley, who's just crossed the line. Oh, and that is slow. Hurley on a slow warm-up lap. That time will be good enough for 40th.
Yeah.
And we've only got 31 cars on the grid. So
yeah, you can actually, I've been told, if that time stands, I've been told he actually has to start from Kyle Lamy. So you'll have a bit of catching up to do if he doesn't improve this time. So no, 19 seconds. I'd say that's just a warm-up lap, maybe a bit of traffic. Speaking of a bit of traffic, Max Silver, who's on a lap here, is actually sort of being held up, or holding up a little bit. Josh Struick, obviously all drivers within right to continue on their qualifying lap. It is hard to try and find and navigate your own bit of real estate out here. Matt Donetti comes to the line. Well, he's coming through the Casio Triangle now. Will this be an improvement this time around for the Audi driver? He's number 1 on the door. He's the reigning champion, obviously. The fact that he has the number 1. What's it going to be as he crosses the line? Does it improve? It does not on that occasion, so he doesn't improve this time by, but still 3 minutes in the session. Time for 2 more laps. It's whether the tyres will hold up is the question. Where does Max Silver sit? Silver goes to second on the road. Simon Bishop, though, improved to 59.8. I think he's going for his own lap record.
If he breaks that lap record on a 34-degree track temperature, I've got a Fanatec wheel for sale. Because it is nothing more than a decoration, let's face it. 34-degree track temperature. He's running sub 2 minutes at Suzuka. It's absolutely disgusting. Some people, they just need to reel this man in. It's just outrageous as Silver pops it into the gravel. But Bishop, what a time he is setting. And we're not done with qualifying. We've got 3 minutes to go, and we've still got about 2:10. Whoa, and that's not a rejoin you want to see during quali. Oh. Bishop with a code brown.
Yeah, Bishop almost had a little bit of a moment there with a car that is trying to get out of the way. Max Silver back in the pit lane. He'll head back out now. And all drivers, so tonight, drivers have 7 sets of tyres. So they technically had a set for practice, or 2 sets for practice, a set for each of the races and qualifying sessions, and then a spare set. But given the fact that we had to reset the server due to a mass disconnect of drivers and shorten that practice session, they now have 7 sets of tyres to use across the 4 sessions, so the 2 qualifying and the 2 races. They'll only use 1 set of tyres in the race, which means they have 5 sets of tyres to use across qualifying. So it becomes a question of how do you use those tyres and in what way, when do you utilize them? Max Silver definitely has a fresh set of boots on here now. Most drivers are going to go out and only use one set of tyres. There's only enough time really to get one out lap. Max Silver, you can see, trying to get some temperature. He's only going to get one lap on these tyres. So Donetti has gone, he's gone quick, hasn't he? Within pretty much, that's 1/100th of a second. Josh Stewart goes exactly within a 10th. So he's jumped up. Paul Condena-Leon also just jumped up into 5th. Matt Simmons is coming towards the line. What is he going to do here as he crosses the line? He had a lap car in, or he had a slower car in front of him. Is this going to be an improvement for the BCG driver? It is not on this occasion. Aston Martin just getting out the way, doing a bit of sign clearing while he's at it, and making sure that he clears that well and truly out of the way. But we'll look a little bit further back to see who's going to set some times. Michael Toward about to come across the line. Does he improve on his position? I don't believe so on that occasion. Max Honeybun, can he set a time? Jump up the fields. He does not set a time on this occasion. Stays in 29th. Lachlan Dawes also yet to set a time. Will this be the lap that he does? He does, and he jumps to 25th. So drivers starting to get their final times in. This will be the last lap. If you cross the line now, you're obviously only going to get one more time in. Bowen Piper, the lead Pro-Am driver in qualifying in the pit lane. That's a bold call.
Yes, it is. It is a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how that one plays out. 8th position, though, which is certainly good. He does have Henderson behind him. I would expect Henderson to go that little bit quicker. And, of course, Lee for HM, Hasseldean Motorsport, in the Nissan GTR. Another GTR, 17th place, so smack bang in the middle of the Pro-Ams once again for Lee. We do have the podium shaping up similarly to as it did in qualifying in race number 1, but this time it's in Aston who is in 3rd, and Hurley who took pole position and the race win in race number 1, currently sitting in 4th position in the Pro-Ams, and that is the timer expired. So these are the final laps, and that Mercedes only just got across the line.
Matt Donetti's in the lane.
There's more cars coming in the pits. Oh, he's in
Matt
the lane.
Donetti's in. He's abandoned his lap, so he's decided not to go on with it. Josh Stewart, can he improve here? As he crosses the line? No, he can't. So Josh Stewart does not improve. Simon Bishop, can he go faster again? He does not. So is there anyone out there that is going to knock off these drivers at the front of the field? Matt Simmons, Max Silver is in the pits. He won't improve. I think it's only really the man on screen, Matt Simmons. Can he cause an upset here? Get to the front of the field? No. He stays in 4th. Bowen Piper, Braden Henderson is continuing on. So I think he got away with it. He gets one more lap in. This could be the lap for Braden Henderson. Can he improve? Can anyone upset Bowen Piper at the front of the Pro-Am field? I don't think they can. Mark Hurley off the road at the just before the final corner on the exit of 130. That is a huge hit. A very big hit indeed. Bob Norley going through into the Casio triangle. And Braden Henderson is on the inner charge this evening. Big shout out, obviously, to, we refer to her as Nitro's mum if she is watching this evening. Haven't seen her in chat. Usually we do, but Braden Henderson's family do love to tune in and watch along to the broadcast. So big shout out to them if they are watching this evening. And hopefully they're about to see their boy jump up the order a little bit through 130R now. Throws the car across the curb, a little bit unsettled, but it's not too bad. What can he do into the Casio triangle? You can hear the sounds John's making in the background. He knows how hard he's pushing this car a little bit wide in the first phase of the chicane. That is slide. That's going to cost him a lot of time. That's probably any gains that he had made. That's pretty much all washed away now as a result of that slide on the exit of the corner. And I don't think we're going to see an improve now from Braden Henderson. He crosses the line. He does not. He stays 9th.
Indeed, yeah, a bit of over-rotation, over-exuberance on the loud pedal on the curbs. You do need to use the curbs to rotate the car. Unfortunately, he just got more rotation than he planned for, and we are looking there, and I tell you what, that is an interesting set of purple sectors that we're seeing there on screen, Isaac. This is why we love this league. Simon Bishop, very greedy, taking 2 purple sectors. I don't know, there's just no stopping this man's ego. But Max Silver, down in 6th place, finds himself with the fastest Sector 3. Oh, I mean, it's
fascinating, isn't it?
By 0.2 of a second.
He does, and that is that is a quick final sector for Max Silver. And I don't know. It's interesting. These qualifying sessions are always interesting for AGT, aren't they? Having a look, I believe it was the 91 car of Barton in 10th was the last car inside a second of that top group. We can get it up here for you, ladies and gentlemen, just to have another look at our qualifying results. And yeah, look at that. Between the top 4 cars even within 0.2 of a second. And John, I'll hand over to you to run us through the grid order for this one.
Indeed, yeah. We've got Bishop, as we say, took pole position. Half a tenth ahead of Matt Dernetti, who is looking to get the puppies fed tonight. We've got Struick in third, Simmons joining Struick on the second row. Candon Leon up to 5th place, so distinct improvement there on his race 1 qualifying session, and ahead of the fastest driver in sector 3. That's Silver. Halton and Piper on row 4 with Henderson and Barton. Great result for Piper. He's put a pro driver between himself and the rest of the pro-ams, and he's got himself into 8th place. Barton, the next pro-am, in 10th position with Sargent and Hurley 11th and 12th. Riley Nicholson with a good qualifying there to get himself 13th. That's 5th in the pro-am. 6th is going to be Tower. Norley in 7th for the pro-ams. Gordon and Lee 8th, and Lee is currently 10th. In the pros. Then it's Sandwith and Dawes 18th and 19th. Stewart starting at 20th. On row 11 it's going to be Burrows and Presland. In 23rd we've got Green. Then it's Boyd, Honeybun and Griffin 24th through 26th respectively. Farmer and Dewitt in 27th and 28th. Tanner in 29th, and Mark Hasseldine bringing up the rear of the field. Down at the bottom there. I'm not sure why Isaac's Lexus is ahead of my Ferrari, but we'll look into that. That's obviously some kind of glitch going on there. Clearly there is. But yeah,
no, I think that's perfectly okay. I don't see any problems with that. I'll be honest. I think that's fine.
Yeah, but
no issues.
You're upside down in Australia, so all the blood rushing to your head. You're not thinking straight. It's absolutely fine. But yeah, no, Hurley's starting in 4th this time around. So this battle for the pro-ams up at the top, that's absolutely going to be the one to watch. And I'm very happy that I'm going to be the person in charge of watching that, because turn 1, with Braden Henderson in there trying to separate himself from the pro-ams, and the pro-ams trying to jostle for the lead, that is going to be an interesting start to the race. Down here in 8th position. Like it's not going to be interesting up at the top when the top 4 are separated by a whisker, if even that.
That's it. And obviously drivers during the race, they love to reach out, give us their thoughts and their insight as to what they're thinking and feeling in the car. We had some lovely insights from Max Silver before race 1 earlier this evening. He's sent me another message saying that he binned all of his laps in qualifying, so he couldn't get a lap together. Felt like he's struggling with the tyres as well. So the Nissan GTR, maybe not the nicest ones with tyres. That's Nettie. He sent me a message. It has 3 words. We back, baby. He feels very happy that he is on the front row, and it is a front row lockout for Audi. I think that we maybe overlooked that a little bit following qualifying, but Matt Zanetti feeling very comfortable in that Audi, and he's back where I think he feels like he should be, and he definitely should be on the front row. And I think that pep talk from Caitlin has definitely given him a little boost.
Going to say, yeah, Caitlin, you've missed your calling in life, sports psychologist. We'll get you out there giving pep talks and charging for the privilege, because that's certainly spurred Matt on, getting him up onto the front row. 2 Audis, 3 Porsches, then a Nissan, and then a Porsche. Yeah, very, very, very dominant manufacturers up at the top. The Mustang leading the way in the Pro-Ams. And yeah, not many Aston Martins in the Pros, which I think is interesting given that we've got 4 in the Pro-Ams. Do you see that a lot though, Isaac, when you come to some of these leagues that have got Pro and Pro-Am divisions? The difference in manufacturers is always something that is slightly mystified me. I mean, clearly the Audis, the Porsches, they are very quick. There is no Audis or Porsches in the Pro-Ams at all.
No.
Sorry, there's one, Dewitt. My apologies.
Dewitt, yes. Dewitt is
in
the
a
only
Porsche
Porsche.
down at the back of the grid.
Yeah,
and there's no Aston Martins in the Pros.
Nope. But notably, we have had drivers, I believe Struick last season, Can't remember if he drove the Mustang. I think he actually drove the Mustang, but he is a big fan of the Aston Martin. He won the AusNZ Championship in an Aston Martin. Matt Donetti has driven the Aston Martin, almost drove it this season, but elected to go with the Audi because he wanted to do something a bit fun and different. So that's why he's in the Audi and not the Aston Martin. We have seen him also drive the BMW. Also noticing as well, speaking of BMWs, there's no BMWs in the Pro class this season either. They're all in the Pro-Am class. So it's a different field in the Pros to what we're used to seeing. And how will that shape up? Look at those two Audis on the front row. Liam Tame, if you are watching, the BCG team principal, he's at One Raceway this weekend. If you are watching or you watch this back at any point, check out your gents on the front row. Front row lockout for BCG 1. It is Josh Stewart, your championship leader, and Matt Simmons, the winner from race 1, on row number 2. Happy Friday, everybody. Carol in the chat, happy Friday to you as well, Carol. We have got one more race this evening. Half an hour at Suzuka. The final half an hour of round 2 starts now. We are green, and it is a wonderful start for everybody off the front row as we run towards turn 1 for the first time. It's going to be side by side for the two BCG drivers. They're going to have to sort this out pretty quickly, and they do. Simon Bishop pulls ahead from Matt Donetti. It looks like it's still side by side between Struick and Simmons in the background. We've got a couple of cars off. That's one of the BMWs. Oh, and that's off the road for Matt Simmons. He's got to sort that out, get back on. And we've got multiple cars off. There's a Ford Mustang, 2 Aston Martins as well. Is that Bowen Piper off the road? It is. So Bowen Piper off the road. 2 of the TTR cars also off the road, which is going to hand Barton the class lead. That is disastrous through the S's for the first time, but Simon Bishop has got off to the start that he wanted. And we're getting through as they come through now for the first time over the first sector. We'll get the order updated for you, ladies and gentlemen. And it is Simon Bishop from Matt Donetti, from Josh Struick. And then Matt Simmons, a little bit of a touch-up with Struick, went off the road, lost a handful of positions. And I'm trying to work out, is that Quintana Leon that is in front of Struick potentially? It might be, as there's more cars strewn across the hairpin now. That's doors going wide. It's all happening here at this race start. There is action aplenty, but Quintana Leon, I believe, is actually ahead of Holton. I thought that was Struick. I got excited for a second there, but it is Struick still in third place. But a great start for BCG 1 and 2. They lead this race first and second. Simon Bishop from Matt Donetti. If they swap these numbers around, it'd be first and second in first and second.
Indeed, yeah. Car 2 and Car 1 are currently running in P1 and P2. Oh, and Barton having a look up the inside. Oh, I tell you what, that's a lot of time on the grass here. He's going to run wide, he's touched the gravel, and he's going to lose control of the car. No, didn't lose control of the car, but did do everything else that's said there, and he has just tumbled down the order. And Barton has just thrown away the lead in the Pro-Ams. He's just been overtaken by Gordon. And Hurley in the Ferrari getting himself back up into the top couple of spots. Preslin's got a drive-through. Oh, and he's almost binned it on the way into the pit lane.
That gives me flashbacks. I distinctly remember, I believe it was either Simon Bishop or Matt Simmons that did that in the round we had here.
Yep.
They binned it in the pit lane because that bump can catch you out. You try and wait as long as possible to dive into the lane, and then there's a little bit of a dip onto the grass that can unsettle the car, catch you out. There is Nitro's mummy in the chat saying, come on, Nitro. He's up to 7th spot, so 2 spots forward in this race. Max Silver down to 8th off the start. And Josh Gordon, isn't he doing well, up into 9th, leading this class. The drive-through cleared for Felix Preslin now, so he's got that drive-through cleared and still out in front. It is Simon Bishop losing a bit of touch to Matt Donetti, who's going to come under pressure from Josh Struick here. So it is 1 and 2 for BCG 1, and then it's 3 and 4 for CP Motorsports 1. So the two teams that are first and second in this championship are first, second, third, and fourth in this race.
Yeah, team dominance and on-track dominance. Oh, and speaking of dominance, the Audi, the Nissan there about to try and take the lead in... Is that Hurley been overtaken? Barton? Gordon. I'm looking at the Pro-Am lead there. There was all kinds of shimmying and shaking going on there. Gordon is still in the lead. Hurley is up to 2nd. Barton now in 3rd. Lee, who started down in 16th place, now in 12th position. So a few places made up there. A couple of cars bouncing off track. Just trying to keep up track of everything that's going on. But yeah, it's Gordon who is still leading the way. But it is still a bit of a tenuous lead because Hurley and Barton very close in behind. That battle up at the top for the overall lead is exactly as you would expect. Very, very close. And I tell you what, Candon Leon, it doesn't look like he's done yet. He has got Halton absolutely all at sea out of that final chicane, and Halton doing well to keep it on the curves there. Almost pulled the car completely over to the other side, and Henderson is closing in. That mighty Mercedes is going to make short work of these Porsches if they can't sort out their affairs. Candon Leon trying to lead the way here, but it's Halton in 4th position. Got the lead on this little group. The top 3 are about 1.3 seconds ahead, and the top 3 in the Pro-Ams are as close as they are in the Pros, with Gordon, Hurley and Barton leading the way. Hurley back onto the podium, Lee closing in there as well. It is so close throughout the field. Dawes carrying a bit of damage. Riley Nicholson as well has not had a good start to this race either. He's down in 26th position. He's got a battered and bruised Aston Martin, and he's just been overtaken by Piper in his battered and bruised Mustang. So a lot of dents and dings on the cars just outside the top 10 in the Pro-Ams. As we see an overtaking tape, and in fact that's team on team action. That's Sandwood.
Oh, there goes, there goes Bowen Piper. He spun it again all on his own, coming up towards the first Degner, and that was pretty messy. He's still trying to sort it out. Mark Hasseldean's going to go through. Bob Norley could also find himself going through here on Bowen Piper, who is all over the road, struggling with grip in this Ferrari. The camera naturally, of course, cuts away, makes sure that we can't see what's going on. Hasseldean gets out of the way, so it is Bowen Piper from Bob Norley there. But as you said, yes, Les Sandwith getting a move done on his teammate up into 23rd position. A bit of damage on the front of that Ferrari as well. So, as you said, a number of battered and bruised cars out there at the moment. Battle still going on. Look at this train of cars at the front of the field, led by Aiden Holton, who's dropped off here. Josh Struick putting Mazzinetti under a lot of pressure now. So the Porsche is fired up in race 2. He struggled in race 1, although I will say he did have pace early. Josh Struick, he had a lot of pace in the early stages of the first race and then dropped off towards the end. Is that similar here, do we think? Or maybe he's tuned the setup a little bit, tweaked the setup, and might be able to keep this pace for the remainder of the race. But nevertheless, there is battles happening everywhere on track at the moment. If you've just tuned in for the first time, where have you been this evening? It has been wonderful action non-stop from race 1, and we're now into race 2, 7 minutes in. Man, time flies when you're having fun. It feels like we've barely gotten started in race number 2 this evening. But it is, of course, round 2 of AGT's ACC Championship, and we are at Suzuka tonight. It's been a fairly action-packed evening, as I said, and the win came from Matt Simmons in first race, the man that is currently battling in 6th place with his teammate and Aiden Holton and Braden Henderson, mind you, took the win in race 1. That man just there in the number 8 Porsche. His first round this season in AGT, missed round 1 at Kyalami, and has made a statement coming out and taking the victory in race number 1 tonight. But it is Simon Bishop that leads the way in this race from Matt Zanetti, from Josh Struick, and then the aforementioned group further down the field. We've got a bit of support in chat for Wayne Tanner. He's sitting in 20th place at the moment, and he's doing a fantastic job in that Ford Mustang. Look at this little battle group that's going on here as well. Jaden DeWitt a part of this. Guy Farmer a part of this as well. Guy Farmer also on debut. So Bowen Piper, Rowan Nicholson, Les Sandwith all getting involved in this one as well. So it's all happening down the back of the pack as well.
Yeah, it is. It really is happening right throughout the field. Of course, I've been keeping a fastidious eye on the battle for the lead in the Pro-Ams. It is Gordon has got that lead at the moment. Barton within a second, though, and so too is Hurley. And they've got Lee joining them in the GNR, closing the distance with Stewart looking to fend off Dawes. Lachlan Dawes is making an absolutely phenomenal comeback. He's just got a move done on Burrows, and he's already lining up Stewart in the McLaren. Oh, as that Porsche runs very wide indeed and opens up. Oh, an overtaking attempt possibly from the Mercedes behind there. That is Green, I believe. I know, sorry, who's that in that Mercedes
That is Guy Farmer, G Farmer. There he is.
Oh, it's Guy Farmer.
For GF Racing. And trying to size up a move on Jaden DeWitt. And in the Porsche, down the front straight. Oh, a little bit under brakes. Thought about it. Les Sam with him behind as well. I think this battle's going to go on for a little while, isn't it? These guys, it could end in tears here if they're not careful, but they are racing each other very hard. Riley Nicholson part of this group. Bob Norley, Bowen Piper also part of this group. Mark Hazeldine dropped off the back of them. Still going on at the front of the field as well. Keep in mind, it's all happening in this little group, but Lachlan Dawes, he is putting pressure on Xander Stewart for 13th place. He's on a charge.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, quite a few of the drivers got the bit between their teeth here for race number 2, looking to make amends for the results in race number 1. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, through the Degness, a lot of the cars really are. Oh, and that's somebody else run wide. Oh, and they've gone 3 wide on the exit to the Degness there. That is an absolute stramash. There's going to be all kinds of positions changed in there. That is Dewitt, who's ahead of Farmer and Sandwith. Nicholson getting involved as well, and Piper right in the hunt here as well. It's 16 wide on the way out of the hairpin. They come into 200 are. Managed to get it sorted out in a single file, but I don't think the positions here are sorted out by any means. Norley in that Mercedes is lurking at the back there. Wow, and they go side by side through Spain, as you do. What a move by Dawes. Is that Dawes?
That's Piper.
That's
That is
Piper,
Piper.
sorry.
That is Piper.
What a move.
You're correct. What a move indeed. His teammate Dawes did actually get that move overtake done on Xander Stewart as well, so he's up a spot. And it's all happening. And now Bob Norley's going to put Ryan Nicholson under pressure. That wounded Aston Martin has not doing as well as he probably would like at this stage in this race. He's struggling a little bit for pace. And the right foot braking proving a challenge this evening for Bob Norley. Man, that we typically see with a lot more pace on board that car. He's getting used to that right foot braking. As we said, right foot braking in a GT3 car, probably not the ideal way to get around. It does get you there, but it's not ideal at all. Now, Struick and Zanetti dropping away from Simon Bishop, and they're pulling away from Aidan Holton. So they're in their own little battle for second place in this race and pushing as hard as they can. Aidan Holton has still got this train of Candana-Leon, Simmons and Henderson under his control. So it's all happening at the front of the field. It's all happening at the back of the field. Where do we look, John? I don't know where to look.
Yeah, well, I'm keeping my gaze firmly fixed on Gordon v. Barton. I tell you what, they're closing.
Sorry to come in.
Oh.
We've got contact between Candana-Leon and Holton, and they've both spun at the hairpin. They have redressed, so Candana-Leon has redressed that position, but Holton was backwards at the hairpin. The camera sort of cut away to an awkward angle, and they arrived in a backward state. So Simmons and Henderson have gone through. That is a huge incident for those two. Doesn't look like there's major damage on those cars, but it has cost them positions and time. Sorry to cut you off there, but I just noticed that.
Yeah, no, all good. Absolutely worth cutting off for. Yeah, Candana-Leon making a bit of a mistake on the way into the hairpin. And that finds him down at the 7th position. Henderson and Holton going through. And the real problem he's got is now he's let Max Silver get to back within a second and a half. Silver himself does seem to be struggling a bit for pace in this race from what we've seen in race 1. Because I tell you what, the Pro-Ams are putting him under all kinds of pressure. Barton and Gordon, in fact, Silver has just used a bit much of those curbs on the way through the Casio Triangle. I'm not sure that's going to do his exit speed much good, and it really isn't. As we can see, 0.6 of a second back. In fact, 0.3 of a second back is Gordon into turn number 1. And I tell you, Barton has already looked racy behind Gordon, looking for an overtake. He might get himself a cheeky little 2 for 1. Given how close that Gordon is to Silver. Could we potentially see Silver finish behind a couple of the Pro-Am drivers here? That would be quite the turnaround from race number 1. An absolutely heroic effort the Pro-Am drivers are putting in at the moment. Hurley looking very secure in 3rd place, but Barton and Gordon, an absolute duel to the end it's going to be. Was the head up, and they're going to go side by side. That's a bit of a mistake by the Aston Martin. He did not get down on the loud pedal quick enough, and Barton is going to go round the outside on the way into the Degness and make this one stick. Whoa, race fans, let's have a round of applause for that move.
Absolutely.
Wow.
That is beautiful stuff. There was also some amazing moves happening further back in the pack. It's still happening for those last spots inside the top 20, but I'm keeping a very close eye on this one because Josh Struick is getting even faster. He's not dropping off. He's actually putting Matt Giannetti under more pressure. Oh!
Big contact. 21st position. The Porsche of Dewitt just caught the back of Honeybun. Honeybun has just lost 4 positions. So yeah, the Porsche of DeWitt just making a slight bit of contact there. Honeybun dropping down the order. Big bounce across the track. Sandwith and Nicholson have just gone full code brown to avoid that contact there. But yes, chopping and changing right throughout the field. The merest of mistakes, given how close it is, it was in qualifying. It's no surprise at all. The merest of mistakes are going to cost you multiple positions in this field, and that is certainly the way it's playing out. We're already 15 minutes into this race. Where does the time... I know I'm old, Isaac, but surely, how does time fly so quickly? That is absolutely wild that we're 15 minutes into this race already, and it's still absolutely alive.
Cadena Leon's into the pits.
In the pits.
Into the pits, so massive damage on that car, and that is going to absolutely end his race. And he's in the lane. And Josh Struick putting Matt Donetti under a lot of pressure. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot of pressure. Further back in the field, Bob Norley trying to keep up with Guy Farmer. It's still sort of happening back here, but they've all started to spread out a little bit, find their own bit of real estate. Damage still being repaired for Paul Cadena Leon. We'll keep an eye on that. But Josh Struick, he is throwing everything he can at the defending champion, the current championship leader versus the defending champion. We're halfway into the race now, so the halfway mark has been reached. 7 laps in. We should get 7 more laps before we are done this evening. 15 minutes of action left on your Friday night here at Suzuka. And plenty of hard racing, I have no doubt, still to come. They've still got to resolve this one. Simon Bishop has disappeared up the road, hasn't he? He really pulled away. Matt Donetti doing everything he can to defend from Josh Struick, I should say. Jeesh is what he's known as on Discord. Both these cars looking fairly damage-free at the moment. He goes for a little bit of a switchback to drive underneath him, Struick, but not able to pull it off that time. A better drive from the Audi. It's quick in a straight line, the Audi, which is working in favour of Matt Donetti here in tonight with the slipstream. And Josh Struick not able to quite capitalise on the slipstream like he might like to. Using more curb than the Audi can, though. Heavy under brakes, defensive slightly from Matt Donetti. Parks it just across the road a little bit. Not enough to compromise his line, but enough to make Josh Struick think twice about that. And that's wonderful car placement from the defending champion. He's driving very smart in this battle, but he's going to continue to have to work hard. He's going to be feeling the pressure, no doubt, of that Porsche behind him. This is reminiscent of...
Yeah, 7th position. I've just seen Matt Silver make another mistake on that final chicane, and I'll tell you what, Barton could be looking good. If he fancies that, he could be in for a run here to take 7th position. He's going to go up the inside into the first corner, as is his right to do so. He's taking the racing line. The beautiful amount of room left by both drivers. Oh, and they do make a bit of contact through the mid-corner phase, and that's going to cost them both time, and it's going to bring Gordon into this equation. Not only that, here comes Hurley in the Ferrari. I shouldn't sound quite so excited. I realise I should be impartial, but let's go Ferrari. Max Silver making a bit of a mistake, and I tell you what, this is a big turnaround from race number 1 from Silver, battling the way for podium positions. He's now at the front of the battle for the podium in the Pro-Ams. And I'll tell you what, Barton is looking good value. In fact, Barton is ahead of him. My apologies, he did get the overtake done. It hadn't updated on the tower, but yeah, Barton is ahead, and Silver is now smack bang in the middle of the podium battle for the Pro-Ams. And I tell you what, Barton, if he can bring home a 6th place here, that is going to be quite the result for a Pro-Am driver, given the strength of the field he's got out there. I mean, he's got Candon, Leon and Henderson and Silver all behind him, which is an incredible drive by Barton. And that's what we're saying in the first race, Isaac. If you're in the Pro-Am class, a dream is to be in the lead and to have pro drivers behind you, separating you from the rest of your competitors. And at the moment, it's Gordon and Hurley that now need to find a way past Silver before they can even catch up to Barton. 12 minutes to go. Barton is looking very, very, very good indeed in that Nissan. He's come out in race number 2, all cylinders firing fully.
Absolutely. Just noticed that Paul Cadena Leon has retired from this race. We've also lost another car, which I haven't quite been able to work out who that is. Maybe you'll be able to get to the bottom of that for me, John. Find out. We had 30 cars. We're now down to 28 in this race. So Henderson's also lost a couple of spots, which he was close to Cadena Leon at the time. Oh, big slide through 130R for Henderson. He's backwards. He keeps it out of the fence. But that car stepped out on him under load at 130R. He's going to get it going again. He's going to continue to lose spots, though. through goes Bowen Piper, and he will be down in 16th place now. I was just going to comment that he possibly was carrying damage after what possibly could have been contact with Candana Leon. The rear end of that car looked a little bit worse for her. Look at how much it is sliding under turn. That car is not happy at the moment at all. Wayne Tanner now riding behind him, but that is a very scary moment at 130R when the car just lets go on you like that.
Well, yeah, it absolutely is, and that's one of the beauties of this course. It doesn't take much. Oh, it's Farmer jumps back to the pitch. Yeah, it doesn't take much for it to go wrong, and when it does go wrong, oh yeah, when it goes wrong, it goes spectacularly wrong. This course has got a fair few places you can run off track, but now, yeah, it doesn't mean that it's any safer.
No, absolutely not. I think 130R's collecting a few victims tonight. I think that was 3 cars. I saw the 116 car of Mark Hasseldean, the 69 car of Guy Farmer, and then obviously before that Braden Henderson all stop and have yellow flags in 130R. So I think it's just taken a couple of victims there. Hopefully these two are about to get through unscathed, as our race leader does get through unscathed. Josh Druick starting to drop off Martinetti a little bit now, so a bit of breathing room afforded to the number 1 Audi, and he's starting to pull away. A little bit of breathing room as well for Matt Simmons. He's sitting in 4th place now. Barton still out in front, leading the way. He's gotten past Max Silver. Max Silver trying to find a way back. Oh, big slide through 130R. That was another car on the curb. You saw as he drove across it, the wheel sort of stuck out onto the dirt just off the curb, which meant that the car got stuck for just a second. And that was a massive snap of oversteer. Max Silver's done well to catch that, but that was a huge moment. And no doubt he'll probably need to change a race suit after this. After this race, I think there's a few drivers out there going to need to change a race suit after this event, but they're doing the best they can. Bowen Piper's back up into 14th place after that early contact, so he's driving well, but he's still a fair way down in the Pro-Am cars. The highest Pro-Am car ranked 6th place. Oh, it's a spin for the 79 car. That's Matt Boyd at turn 1, who has spun. He's still stopped there. He's going to have to try and move that car. He's backed it up to get it out of the way. He'll wait for the pack to come through, and then he'll get rolling once again. He does try and get rolling now. He's got to do it quick. There is still cars coming.
22nd place.
22nd place. Guy Preslin.
Oh, he's just disappeared. Oh, yeah, Guy Preslin going past Griffin.
Yep, around the outside. On the way in towards turn 1. He does get it done before he gets there. Felix Preslin, well done on Alex.
Yeah, he set that up through 130R. He really got a good exit out with Spoon. Absolutely nailed the slipstream and got a very, very, very solid move. Good to see Preslin going in the right direction in this race, and especially after having to serve that drive-through. Great recovery drive. Good to see the concentration, because it can easily throw you off, especially around the course like this. You lose quite a few places with a drive-through, but he's got his head back together, and he is making his way back through the field, and I don't think he's going to be long for another overtake as well, as he's got Green just ahead of him. Still very close in both podiums though, Isaac. The top 3, now the 2nd and 3rd in the pros, is certainly looking very close, and it's the same in the Pro-Ams. We've got Gordon and Hurley separated by 0.06 of a second, heading into 130R. And it's just stretched out, actually. Hurley making a bit of a meal of his Spoon exit. See what I did there?
I'm yes, I see. I'm typically a little bit spoilt for choice in iRacing these days. They give you the live split updates. On ACC, we have to wait for them to cross the micro sectors to actually get the updates on where they are in relation to each other. So I feel like I'm a little bit spoiled in terms of watching iRacing, but nevertheless, you still do the job. You get a sense of who is close out on track at the moment. Henderson trying to find a way past Green. Oh, and Green's gone off at the chicane, so we'll lose that spot in the end to Henderson. I don't know if that's a direct correlation, but Henderson moves through back up into 14th place, and trying to continue to move back to this field after a massive moment at 130R. And yeah, very, very scary. Not what you want at all. We are 6.5 minutes away from the checkered flag here, roughly. Almost at the end of what has been an amazing night of action, but it's still yet to be resolved. Max Silver trying to catch back up to James Barton to get himself into 6th place. He'd love a 6th place here. It would massively help his continual push in this championship. to get some good points here this evening. But again, he has to find a way to catch back up and get past Barton. I think he's just struggling a little bit. He did say he was struggling for tyres on this car around here. And maybe the tyres getting the better of him now. Everyone's starting to spread out a little bit. Things are starting to calm down after the chaos that was the start of this race. The closest battle on track at the moment appears to be this battle on our screen between Andrew Griffin and Felix Preslin for 21st position.
These two are keeping it nice and close. And of course, Riley Nicholson as well, actually. He's not too far behind Sandwith for 19th position. So good to see Nicholson making it to the end of the race. Like I say, recently, I don't know if it's potentially me that's maybe the curse, but anytime I watched Riley recently, if it wasn't for bad luck, he would have absolutely no luck whatsoever in these races. Didn't make it to the end of race number 1. He is on for a solid top 10 in the Pro-Ams, and he's certainly putting Sandwith under pressure. Aston versus the lesser spotted BMW. Not many of them in this series. They were the meta car for quite some time. Now they are rarer than hen's teeth. You got more chance of seeing a Bentley in some races. And yeah, thanks to the PC bot, the Bentley is a viable car once again. It's great to see that taking part.
There's a car off in the background.
Yeah,
That's who's that off the road? Oh, it's Henderson again. Henderson is off the road once again at 130R. So that car, for whatever reason, not having the best time of it. It's at the very, very fast left-hander and is again off the road. So it's not good at all. This is side-by-side. Bob Norley up the inside of Xander Stewart. Gets that move pretty much done before they even get to turn 1. That is a lovely overtake from the reserve driver this evening. Typically a Team XV primer driver, and that's what we see him in for the livery tonight. He is filling in. Henderson again. Henderson
at turn number 1 there. He's just, the rear of the car is very badly damaged. I would actually jump on chase cam if we had that ability right now. Oh, and he's sideways.
Oh, again.
Somebody's off in sight.
It is Henderson. Henderson is off the road. The camera's going to pan around and he's back to pits. I think that's a sign of just he's not quite having. And there's Max Honeybun in the background bringing his Nissan GTR into the pit lane. And it's a very difficult night for some drivers. Unfortunately for Henderson, a great race 1, finished in 2nd place. May not see the checkered flag here this evening unless he can continue on once he repairs that car. We'll repair the damage, see how we go. But Toward was putting pressure on Anthony Burrows. Where is Anthony Burrows? Behind him. So that is actually a positional change between those two. TTR West Side and TTR East Side. Up into 4th in class, 11th on the road from Michael Toward. He continues his great run in AGT so far since coming in the Porsche Cup Series. And yes, Ferbs in chat. Ferbs obviously not racing this season, but Adam Joy we are used to seeing on our screens. But he's very heartbroken for this man on screen, Nitro, and yeah, very disappointed for him. This evening, he was running really well in the early stages of this race as well, up inside the top 10, and then let it go at 130R. I think that was something to do with what happened with Candana Leon, but I'm sure there's something there. The Shields will get to the bottom of it, no doubt whatsoever. This is Mark Hurley and Josh Gordon on our screens. They are trying to sort this out for the 2nd place in class, 8th place on the road, and they're keeping it fairly close at the moment, these two. There's not much between them.
There isn't, yeah, confirmation. It's Candana Leon that hasn't made it to the end of the race, and also we have Natalie, who lost connection in race 1, and it looks like hasn't been able to start race number 2. So that is the 2 drivers that were lost. So Candana Leon, after a very, very, very good race 1 and a very promising start to race number 2, is a DNF for this one. So 2 drivers not making it to the end, which is less than 10% around Suzuka. That is no mean feat, I can assure you. I've seen
absolutely not
much highest percentages of dropouts around this course, I can assure you. Although the biggest I've seen, it was 86 cars that started in 2 different classes, and we got 58 across the line after a 6-hour race.
Well, lead confirmation from race control. Leader is on the final lap. Definitely a better percentage than what that sounds like by the sound of it. But that's a big number. That's a big difference, isn't it? Only 58 cars across the line. It looks like, at this stage, we don't want to jinx it, so I'm going to touch some wood. We don't want to jinx it, but Matt Zanetti looks to be fairly in control. He's pulled away from Geese, who's dropped off at the end of this one, as he did in race number 1 as well. So, unfortunately for that Porsche, it's just not holding on the way you would have liked. He's a second and a half back, and it could be the first 1-2 of the season for BCG, albeit the wrong way around. And car number 2 in first and car number 1 in second. Multi-map 2-1. Sebastian, multi-map 2-1, and Simon Bishop will be the Mark Webber in this situation. And Matt Zanetti probably not close enough to try and do a Sebastian Vettel to him, but it's going to be a multi-21 for BCG1 this evening.
Is indeed, yeah. Multi-21, Seb. Multi-21. One of the most iconic moments in F1 history. And yeah, I think Webber absolutely right. I mean, yeah, my reaction would have been a lot less gentle, that's for sure. Hurley and Gordon still going for the final podium positions in the Pro-Ams. They've got a lap and a half to sort out the
Gordon
repairs.
holds on for now over Hurley. Hurley doing everything he can to try and throw everything at him. Yeah, it looks pretty close between these guys. Who's going to get this position out? We're going to cut to... Oh, no, once again, my game has hit drive when I wanted to click on this man at the front of the field. Simon Bishop. Well, he had a bit of a different start to the season, but we knew he'd win a race eventually, and it hasn't taken him long at all. It's race number 3 of the season, race 2 of the evening, and the first race win of the season for Simon Bishop. Matt Zanetti comes home in second. Josh Struick in third, and Matt Simmons, your race 1 winner, will come home in 4th place. Aidan Holton, in the end, will come home for 2 top 5s and a strong result this evening. James Barton bounces back in race number 2 to come home in 6th from Max Silver. In P number 7, Josh Gordon holds on in the end from Mark Hurley to finish in 9th. Are there any other close battles happening out there? I don't really believe so. Nicholson and Sandwith, though, actually are pretty close. Here we go. Look at this battle. Xander Stewart, Wayne Tanner, and Les Sandwith is the car in behind as well. This is all happening here through 130. Look how wide Nicholson is up the inside from Stewart on Tanner. Sandwith goes very deep. Oh, it's spun. A half spin carried too much speed in from Tanner. Was there a little bit of a touch? I'm not sure. Sandwith is off the road. Riley Nicholson's going to go through as well. Is he going to get both of them? And Stewart goes very defensive, trying to hold off Nicholson. Who's going to get it in the end? I think it's Stewart.
Nicholson got it.
Stewart holds on just from Nicholson. Wayne Tanner in behind, and then Sandwith will come home in 19th. Felix Preslin in the top 20. What a finish between those gentlemen. And Jaden DeWitt in 21st from Andrew Griffin. Braden Henderson finished the race. I believe he finished across the line in the end in 26th. Max Honeybun crosses in 25th, and Mark Hasseldine will be our last car across the line in 28th position. What a finish between those 3 gentlemen.
Yeah, what a race that was. It did have a bit of an ebb towards the end there, but just at the end, absolutely came alive once again. The drivers involved, I'm sure, would have been happier for a much sedate ending, but certainly from our point of view, woo! Bring it on. What a race. And I can confirm Matt may well be back in the good books. Caitlin is in the chat saying, much better. So he's back in the good books, and yeah, Taco and Enzo might be getting fed tonight. Happy days.
Absolutely. Well, I'll hand over to you, John, while I organise these interviews, to run us through the results of this race and where everybody finished.
Yeah, the finishing order then. Simon Bishop, 1.4 second gap. That is dominance in this field. BCG1 making it 1 and 2 with Vernetti, the second teammate, and the second Audi across the line. Struick finished in 3rd place, and that reset, so I can jump back on. That's absolutely fine. Struick in 3rd. Simmons in 4th position ahead of Halton. Then it is Barton finishing in 6th place overall, but the Pro-Am lead more importantly for him. Or what is more important, actually? I'm going to ask him that. Finishing in the top 10 against the pros or bringing home the race win? Silver finishing, that's just frozen again. Thank you very much, ACC developers. Silver in 7th place, Gordon. Finishing in 8th, ahead of Hurley in 9th. That's 2nd and 3rd in the Pro-Ams. Lee with a great race for Hasseldean Motorsport, finishing up in 10th place. That's 7 places made up in the race, finishing ahead of 4th in the Pro-Ams. That's Tower. Burrows was 5th, Piper 6th, Norley 7th, and Green in 8th place. Xander Stewart in 9th. Riley Nicholson rounding out the top 10 in the Pro-Ams, ahead of Tanner and Sandwith. Presland and DeWitt 12th and 13th. Griffin in 14th. It's Sargent in 15th for the Pro-Ams, followed by Boyd and Honeybun. Henderson outside the top 25 and 2 laps down on the race leaders. Farmer and Hasseldean finishing 27th and 28th overall. Candona Leon and Dawes out of the race, and Natalie Watt, of course, failing. No, sorry, Natalie didn't fail. Her internet completely failed and was unable to take part in race number 2, unfortunately. So hopefully we can get the hamsters well fed, get them on the wheel, and get them up to get Natalie up and involved in the next race. But yeah, 28 cars finished out with a 30 car field around one of the trickiest tracks on the planet. That's not too shabby a showing.
That's right, absolutely not a too shabby a showing at all. And we're just organising these interviews. We'll jump back over to our holding screen and we'll get some interviews for you very, very shortly. And yeah, what an evening of racing that was. And yeah, we're just waiting to see who's going to jump in for a chat, who wants to talk to us this evening. Hopefully they all want to talk to us. Would be nice if we could chat to all our drivers, but I think we do have a couple people ready. We will drag in, first of all, get him in here, 3rd place. And here he is in the booth. 3rd place in the race this evening, the man that leads the championship coming into this round. I have no doubt probably still leads the championship, leaving the round. Josh Struick. Josh, first of all, congratulations on the podium in that 2nd race. It's you're putting Matt Tonetti under pressure there for a while. He pulled away from him in the end, but it looks like you give him a good run for your money.
Yeah, I mean, I tried everything to get past her, just Porsche doesn't quite have the legs to get past, especially when you have to get past at the end of longer straights. So, yeah, I gave it everything. I think I was quicker. I think, yeah, I was one of the fastest cars out there in the 2nd race. So, I think that's something to take away, considering I wasn't very confident for this round with the practice leading up to it.
Well, for someone that wasn't very confident, you certainly showed quite a lot of pace out there. You didn't show any lack of confidence at all. So congratulations. And talk to us about that 1st race as well. Obviously, we didn't get the opportunity to talk to anyone between the 1st and 2nd race, but there was quite a large number of you. Donetti, Bishop, Silva, Candana Leon, and Holton. You're all battling away for that last spot on the podium for the majority of that race. Just what was that battle like to be in for you? Was it fun? Was there a lot of pressure? How were you feeling in that moment?
I mean, it was fun, but it was also frustrating because there's not much you can do against the Nissan. Even though Max Silva's sliding all over the place, you can't do anything because it's so quick in a straight line. It's just, I had to basically wait for a mistake, which didn't happen enough of a mistake anyway.
Yeah, well, look, it's it's a bit of a waiting game around here, isn't it? How difficult was it to try and get an overtake done at Suzuka? It looks like it's a fairly flowing circuit. There's a couple spots where drivers were, creating overtake chances, but is it one of those circuits where it's like really hard to try and get past?
Yeah, it's very, very difficult to get past because all the long straights have fast corners into them, so there's no real braking zones. Yeah, there's very little opportunity to actually brake and get alongside someone, which is sort of what you need in the Porsche because it can't overpower really any of the cars down the straights. So it really needs that big braking zone to allow you to pull alongside.
Well, speaking of big braking zones, we do go to Indianapolis for round 3 in a few weeks' time. That definitely has a couple of bigger braking zones, especially turn 1. Is that a circuit that you're looking forward to in this car? How are you gonna approach the 1 hour race we have around there?
Oh, I I'm not sure, to be honest. There's a lot of straights there, which I'm not looking forward to. I don't think that's ideal for the Porsche, but hopefully some of the low-speed stuff, or even some of the mid-speed stuff, we can claw some of the time back. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be easy, but I think hopefully it might be a little easier than it was today for the Porsche.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we very much are looking forward to seeing what you can do when we head to Indianapolis in a few weeks' time. Obviously, in a very strong position in the championship. So we thank you for your time, Josh. Any final thoughts or anything you want to add before we let you go?
Nah, not really. I think we covered most of it.
Wonderful. Well, we thank you for your time, and we look forward to, obviously, you're at the pointy end of the field. We look forward to many more chats as the season wears on. Congratulations once again.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
That is Jeesh there. And feeling probably a little bit worn out after that one by the sounds of it, as I'm sure they all are feeling it. But as you said, very hard to overtake around here indeed. We're going to drag in now. We're going to go a little bit out of order, and we'll get the man that finished first in class in that second race this evening in the Pro-Am class, and it is in fact Jimbo, James Barton. Welcome into the chat. First of all, congratulations on the win in that second race for the Pro-Am. I think John has a question for you that he might like to ask.
Yeah. You know what? I've completely forgotten what it was now.
I haven't.
I've been analysing the... Oh, go for it then, Isaac. Remind me, what's the question?
His question that he wanted to ask you, Jimbo, what's more important for you? What feels like more of a win for you? Is it the win in the Pro-Am class or the finish inside the top 10?
Oh, I'd have to go finishing in the top 10, mate, to be honest. That with a whole heap of pros and Pro-Ams that are fast, it feels good to finish in the top 10, to be honest.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And then, like as you said, there's a lot of fast guys in there. You had a bit of a difficult first race. Looked like some unfortunate contact towards the end of the race, and I'm sure if there's something in that'll go to the stewards and they'll look into that. But you bounced back well in the second race. You also had a really strong race in Kyle Army that we didn't get the opportunity to chat to you about. How are you feeling about your momentum so far this season? Obviously, 2 class wins to your name. You're in a strong position in the Pro-Am Championship. You're looking forward to where this season is going for you?
Honestly, I am. I'm real strong, happy and feeling strong with car pick this season. Last season wasn't too good in the Ferrari for myself. I'm a bit more stronger in the Nissan, so hopefully I can just keep up the good momentum and just keep going with what I'm doing pretty much. I know Mark Hurley's on my tail, that's for sure, in that Ferrari. He's pretty quick around most of these tracks. He does a lot more practice than me too. I just rock up and drive.
Well,
so annoying. So annoying. Did I say that out loud? Sorry.
Well, for someone that rocks up and drives...
Go on. Yeah, I was just going to ask you about your car choice. We were discussing briefly. There's a big difference between the cars that we're seeing in the pros and the Pro-Ams. Like, there's one Porsche in the Pro-Ams. We've got 3 in the pros. There's no Audis in the Pro-Ams, and there's no Nissans in the pros. So when picking the Nissan, obviously it's a very quick car, but it's also, you have to be absolutely on point to handle that thing. You need to be so smooth all the way around. So what was the thought process in going for the Nissan for this competition?
Oh, I've done a lot of racing in the Nissan, so I've gotten really used to the Nissan. I've got to, honestly, I don't know if he's watching or not, shout out to Binger King. He's helped me a lot in this Nissan to get comfortable in it, and doing a lot of league racing with him over the years, plus the endurance racing. It's helped me out a fair bit, to be honest. So getting used to the Nissan, you got to be really nice and gentle on the throttle. Obviously, the steering inputs and braking at the same time. So it's pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah, it's no mean feat being able to handle that car. And Yeah, the way you bounce back from race number 1 to get it in race number 2, again, it's a testament to just how locked in some of you drivers are, and again, testament to why I hide behind the microphone, casting aspersions on people. But yeah, great result there in race number 2, and a solid championship lead you've got going into round 3. So yeah, best of luck going forward from me, certainly.
Yeah, definitely. As I said, I've just got to keep on going and keeping the momentum going, because I know my teammate in HM2, he's hot on me tails as well, wanting the championship as much as me.
Well, we look forward to seeing how that championship battle will play out between you two throughout the course of the season, and hopefully we'll have many more chats with you before the season is end. Before we do let you go, Jimbo, is there anything else you'd like to add? Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
No, shout out to Wilco, mate. He's helped a lot over the years with me racing as well.
Yeah, big shout out to Wilco. Obviously founded the AUSNZ Endurance Series and has helped a lot of drivers over the years. So yeah, I'm sure you'll definitely appreciate that. But thank you very much, Jimbo, for jumping in. James, for having a chat. We appreciate your time. We look forward to many more chats as the season gets on.
Thank you. Have a good one, boys.
That was, in fact, James Barton there. And I think I've dropped him in the wrong voice chat. Whoops, that's okay. We're going to do something a little bit chaotic here for these last two drivers, because they did finish first and second. So I'm going to drag them in together. I don't know how this is going to go. We'll wait and see. Last time we put two BC drivers in a voice chat together to interview them, we got the iconic moment with Liam Tame at Imola. But welcome in the chat, boys, Matt Donetti and Simon Bishop. First of all, congratulations on the 1-2. Matt, we'll start with you. This Audi, you've had a bit of a love-hate relationship with it so far this season, but that second race, it seemed to be loving you more than hating you.
It may have looked that way from the outside. I think from about 5 minutes in until the last 10 minutes, it was about as useful as a pile of doorknobs. So, you know, I tried calling for multi-map 1-2, but Simon wouldn't really go for it.
Well, we were calling multi-map 2-1 on the stream towards the end. So you guys are trying to go for the opposite. Obviously, Simon, pretty much, I don't know, you led from lights to flag, really. It wasn't anything, you didn't look troubled at any stage. I think it helped with the fact with Matt was under pressure from Jeesh, I should say, but you looked pretty comfortable in that car tonight. Obviously, the first race, there was a fair bit of battling going on in the mid-pack, but you qualified at the front of the field and sort of walked away with it.
100%. It was the Audi's a funny thing to drive. It has like a 1% setup window, and if you're in that window, it is the best car to drive. And if you're anything else, it's just absolute crap. And then last week, I just felt like I was completely washed. I just couldn't drive at all. Well, I mean last month for round one, but yeah, it was good to do that. And then the car was great, and then yeah, it did help that Jeesh did his best to try and pass Matt. But yeah, pretty happy to get 1-2 for the Audis, doing it for the cars that are pretty terrible to drive.
Yeah, well, I'm sure if Liam Tame is watching, he's absolutely thrilled with that result. 1-2, and it's great for the team's championship as well. Obviously, CP Motorsports, Struick and Aiden Halton performing very well, and you know putting their stamp on the championship. There's but technically between the two teams, there's a BCG1 championship back in season 1. CP Motorsports with Matt Donetti and Aiden Halton won the championship in season 2. It looks like it's going to be much the same story again, a battle between CP and BCG. Is the team's championship something you guys are, thinking a little bit about, or is it more focused on your sort of individual driver results, and the team's championship will come with it?
Oh, I think Liam's briefed us if we don't get the team's championship that it's going to be a lot of lashings. So, driving for our health.
Yeah, he told me he'd give me $1 million, so I'm all about it.
Well, you've heard it here first,
you're
folks. Yeah, you've heard it here first, folks. Liam Tame has said he will give Simon Bishop $1 million if they win the championship, and that is that is a fact, and that is something we're going to hold him to, obviously, before this season is over. But John,
I'm now switching to team management. If you need a manager, by the way, Simon, I'm more than happy to offer my negotiating skills for a mere 25%. It's a bargain at twice the price, I can assure you.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you, John, while we've got these two in the chat before we let them go, have you got anything you'd like to ask them about tonight, or just about anything in general, really?
Yeah, I would like to ask them, but I'm scared of the answer, to be brutally honest, because they're going to tell me they're just doing it for fun because it's the most difficult car. We were talking about the car choices. Huge differences between the pros and the Pro-Ams. No one in the Pro-Ams has taken an Audi. There's very few Porsches in the Pro-Ams. There's no BMWs in the Pros. Big mix of cars. And you two guys have chosen the Audi. Now, the Nissan, a difficult car to drive. With the Audi, it's no mean feat getting that round any course at all. So what made you guys choose the Audi? Was it just purely as a flex, or is it a car that you two are both very much at one with?
I guess I'll go.
We'll go for go Simon
it's,
first.
it's like a fun car to drive. Like, it's so alive, and obviously that means that sometimes it flicks you straight off the side of the track. But the sound it makes, and it's so fast in a straight line, which is going to be really handy at some of the tracks coming up. It's really rewarding to drive. But the problem it has is that you'll be driving along and you'll do the same thing 10 laps in a row, and on the 11th lap it'll just fire you straight up into the fence, which Matt had in race one. And I don't know, we just want to race something different. We've spent quite a long time racing the FR cars, so like the BMWs and the Mercs, and we thought, well, we'll run something that's MR, and then we thought, well, maybe the Porsche or the Audi, and then we thought, bugger it, we'll go for the Audi.
Yep, I think
Nice.
it just looks good, sounds good. We almost landed on the Mercedes, but then we thought we'll just go something different, like Simon said, saying that's, just really, it's fun to drive, and I say fun, half the time you're actually swearing at it because it's really frustrating to drive. But I don't know, it keeps you on your toes. It's like what would you call it? Like a bit of an adrenaline rush. It's always trying to kill you. You never know when it's going to bite you or love you. So
It is a
pretty fast,
carrying
though.
killer. Yes.
Yeah, it's plenty fast. If you can get it within that setup window, it'll match anything else, which I think is great as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Nice.
it seems to be working for you guys pretty good most of the time, except for, as you said, when it fired Matt off the road towards the end of the first race. But we're looking forward to seeing what you guys can continue to do in this car throughout the season. Obviously, we head to Indianapolis next. Have you guys got any gauge on what the car might be like at Indianapolis?
how long's a piece of string?
My only thought is that it has to be better than what I drove last time in the BMW, because that thing was awful. It was terrible. So, yeah, it can't be worse than that.
Well, fingers crossed, because we've got an hour race there, and really looking forward to seeing what you guys can do once we head there. But once again, gentlemen, congratulations on the result tonight. First of all, obviously for the win for you, Simon. The second place for you, Matt. It's great for both your championships, and looking forward to seeing what you can do throughout the rest of the season. Before we do let you go, I'll start with you, Simon, and then to you, Matt. Anything else you want to add, or any shout outs you want to give?
No. Oh, actually, I will give a shout out. We were talking about this while we were in your wee dungeon waiting to be led into the chat. And this season, the level of competition is unbelievable. In the first race, I felt like I did an amazing lap, and I was 6th on the grid. And Matt was right next to me, and we were like, what on earth is going on? And the way that Max is driving, and the way that Braden's driving, and also Jesh, has been awesome. And then obviously Matt dips in when he can. It's Matt Simmons. And so I hope it's good on stream, because it's so much fun to race. That first race was so awesome to be a part of, because if you made the slightest mistake, you got punished for it. And even though I spent most of the race looking at the back of a Porsche, it was awesome. And indeed, Max in the Nissan, even though he was driving sideways most of the time, did a great job to be able to hold onto it. And I think it's awesome that there's so many different cars that are capable of being great at all the tracks we go to, and that if you're slightly off your game, like I was in round one, you're nowhere, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to do the boring thing and actually steal Simon's thing. The level's insane. Like, you're a 10th off and you're 5th, and you're left there wondering, like, what the hell have you done wrong? But then you need to sort of pull yourself back and realize that you haven't done a bad job. It's just the level of the field at the moment. It's absolutely insane. makes us wonder why the hell we picked the Audi at the end of the day.
It's like
But
regret.
yeah, literally, yeah. But yeah, no, it's just a shout out to everyone that's showing up every season and continuing to improve. It's what we want to see. Everyone wants to have a close race. Close racing is more fun. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't have said it better ourselves. And I can promise you, gentlemen, the racing that we saw tonight looked spectacular on screen. And hopefully you'll get the chance to go back and watch it because there was some really awesome stuff. Well, thank you both for your time. Congratulations once again. And hopefully throughout the season, we'll get to have plenty more chats with you both.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. That was Simon Bishop and Matt Donetti both jumping in for a chat. And John, that'll pretty much do it this evening. We'll get your final thoughts on just what has been such an excellent evening of racing.
It's been another AGT evening of racing. That pretty much sums it up, really. Yeah, AGT, as Matt and Simon both said there, the strength of field right through is absolutely incredible. It is so close, and they alluded to as well. You can be a 10th off at a pole position and find yourself in 5th, 6th, 7th place. It's just so close, and they're so evenly matched. And the mix of cars as well really accentuates the driver talent and gives us some phenomenal on-screen battles. In fact, I think the only problem that we've got with AGT is that we need to wait so long between races. But it is Indianapolis next. That is the only issue that I've got. We should just have a 52-week season every year.
Yep.
That would be easier.
I agree.
Yeah,
Let's
we should do that. But yeah, Indianapolis, after tonight, an hour at Indianapolis. So you throw everything that we've seen tonight, throw that into the mix with a pit stop and variable weather. I've literally got goosebumps on my forearms right now. Cannot wait. And it's on a Friday the 13th as well, which is
what could go wrong?
my mum's birthday.
Oh, there you go. We'll have to wish John's mum a very happy birthday. But as you said, Friday the 13th of March. So we did have a bit of a break for some real life stuff that was happening between rounds 1 and 2. But you only have to wait 2 weeks before we go racing at the Brickyard Showdown. Friday the 13th of March. Put it in your calendars. We will be back for more racing. Absolutely. Indianapolis. It's going to be an absolute thriller. 60 minutes. We're back for our second 1 hour race of the season. As you said, a pit stop will be required, and variable weather always plays a role. So mark your calendars, get excited for that one. But that is going to do it for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you so much for tuning in. Congratulations to all the drivers this evening. As always, it's been another excellent night of racing here at Suzuka. And we thank you all for joining us on the ride that has been round 2, the Japanese SuperSprint. As always, my name has been Isaac Fogarty. On behalf of everyone here at AGT, TrackSpotTV, especially John Wright joining me in the booth this evening, we say a big thank you for watching. We will see you in 2 weeks' time when we go racing at Indianapolis. But for now, it is goodbye. Stay safe.
Been trying to change what I've been trying to say. Words don't come straight.